welcome to a reaction stream for Game Week 10. So we're going to look ahead to that and react to Game Week 9. I have to say, it's probably the worst, or one of the worst game weeks I've experienced in FPL, especially this season. And if I was in charge of the archives, I would have deleted and erased this game week for sure. Or if not, I would have rewritten history and I would have said, you know what, I've got 70 points on the Saturday. I've got Foden. I've got double Chelsea defence with Chilwell and Reece James. I captained Mount whilst everyone went with Havertz. And everything is just amazing, you know. I'm on course, maybe a few more weeks like this, and I'm going to be number one. You know, it's just absolutely amazing. But looking at actual reality, Kai Havertz, the big talking point, and I actually discussed him a lot yesterday. Of course, he was in the thumbnail of the video. But a lot of people were taking -4s or thinking of doing it and, you know, getting rid of Saka and stuff like that. A lot of people went ahead with it. But my kind of reasoning behind not going for it is because Chelsea can score from so many different avenues. And I think now they have 13 or 14 different goal scorers, something like that. Absolutely crazy this season. And 10 of their, I don't know how many goals they scored now, 23, maybe a few more of those have come from defenders. So literally, Kai Havertz is playing up front, of course, and with Lukaku and Werner out, he should be the main source of goals. But looks like it's Mason Mount at the moment. And some people are actually considering getting rid of Mount for Havertz for a -4. And actually said, you know what, Mount can actually do all right. So don't do that. But I'll be honest, you know, I'm not going to, you know, claim that I knew he'd get 24 points or whatever. I never expected that. I don't think anyone did. A bit like Firmino the other week against Watford. But moral of the story, good team on paper, but very poor performance. I've got 6 players left maybe or something like that, but guess what? I don't care. The left-hand side of my screen, yeah, I wish I had 58 points, but I don't. Okay, this is last week's points. I'm going to pretend that I have 58 points. But yeah, I don't even know if I have 10 points at the moment. That's how bad it is. So thank you to everyone who's been tuning in. I'll try to go through all of the questions. I see the chat is very lively today, so really appreciate it. Of course, we did stream yesterday and we did a reaction stream 2 days ago because we didn't do one last week. Oh my god! And I'm already seeing a lot of stories here on the live chat, so thank you very much to everyone. So Liphook says Livramento and Smith are on my bench. I knew I should have gone with Chilwell instead of Aspie. At least Livramento coming on. Should I do Rafinha to Havertz Mount now? Probably not. Let's wait and see what Rafinha's injury is like. But oh my god, I mean, that's another thing. Rafinha getting injured. I think even Broca picked up an ankle injury. So this week has just been absolutely crazy, you know. De Bruyne on the bench. Give me a break, man, please. Yeah, Liphook says currently on 40 points after bonus with Trent, Salah captain, Mbumo, Vardy and Antonio to play. That's not too bad. I wish I was on 40 points, mate, so enjoy it. Captain KDB to get 2 points. Yeah, you see what I mean? This week has just been absolutely unforgiving. Huge week, yeah. The less said about it, the better. Yo, Dylan, what a game week so far. Yeah, I mean, like I said, let's pretend it didn't even exist. Mason and Chile and my team, congratulations, mate. You've completed FPL, at least this week, so enjoy it because some people are in the mud. Captain Havertz over Foden, damn. Yeah, I mean, I actually highlighted Foden in my preview and also yesterday as a really good captaincy shout this week. And he's done really well, of course. Chilwell looking like a must-have at the moment, yeah. But then again, Marcos Alonso was a few weeks ago, and now look, suddenly he's not in anyone's thoughts. Lovely scenes at FPL this week. Foden saving and a clean sheet for City defenders. Also, Sanchez scoring more than Ramsdale. Yeah, no clean sheet for City defenders. That's another thing, you know. At least I thought, okay, Diaz and Cancelo, you know, nice clean sheet there. They can't even do that. Alexis McAllister ruins that completely. Trust me, Chilwell will be rotated by Alonso. Yeah, well, at this point I'd hope so, but if not, I'll just kind of get Chilwell in and forget about it. Goalfest weekend, yeah. And unfortunately, none of the goals for my team. Tony or Vardy? I still think Vardy, but Tony, in terms of cost effectiveness, is probably, you know, and value, he is the better option. But Vardy is just more consistent. He'll get more points. But of course, there's a 4 million price difference. Rafinha out, and if yes, then Vardy or Son. Long term, probably Son because of the fixtures. I'd like to have both, and that's what I'm planning to do still. I had an absolute nightmare. Aspie, Diaz and Cancelo blank. At least Livramento got 7. Yeah, that's literally the only thing. Yeah, Livramento got the assist. Conceded twice, though, unfortunately. But at least he got some bonus points. How are you still benching Livramento? You need to start watching Southampton highlights. Well, mate, because my actual team on paper at least looks good. And either way, he's coming on. That's the only good thing so far this week. Welcome, the Flying Dutchman. Yeah, Livramento on the bench. Not for me, though. At least he's coming on twice in a row, helping me. But either way, you know, didn't get the clean sheet as I expected. Can you show me your team this week? Not right now, to be honest. Maybe a bit later. I haven't even seen it yet, and I don't want to look at it. It's absolutely disgusting. 51 points after bonus. That's really good, mate. Flying Dutchman. I wish I had anywhere near that. The game week points not updated yet, I assume, Dylan. No, they're not. I wish I had 58. Trust me. These are from last week, and I purposely did that. Get Reece James. Not for me, because he can come on for 1-pointers, and I'd rather have Chilwell if I was to get someone. 14 points from 6 players. Yeah, Mackenzie, I'm in a similar boat, mate. I imagine I don't even have 14 points. So, yeah, don't worry. There are people worse off than you, including myself. Hoping Antonio doesn't start so that Juan comes off the bench. It's not going to happen, though. Antonio will start. I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but I'm just being realistic. Also, even though I was looking at Mount, I went for Havertz. Yeah, but everyone was looking at Havertz. He was the kind of main man. He's the striker. Last season, he was doing really well in certain games against Crystal Palace, for example, playing as that false number 9 in the end, though. Just no goal involvements when Chelsea scored 7. Absolutely ridiculous. Mount and James playing on the right. I mean, Mount is looking like a decent option, but it's just one game, Everyone did the same thing with Firmino. I think it's a bit reactionary. Before today, Mount hadn't scored in 15 Premier League games, all the way dating back to April, so I think it should be taken with a pinch of salt. What do you think of Foden as an option? The same as before. I think he's a good option. I'd rather have Son. I still think that. But Foden at 8 million is probably the best. He's better than Grealish. He's better than Mount and all of these other options. And Havertz, of course. And I said this yesterday, so you can watch back. I'm not, just reacting. Of course, that is partly what we're doing here in this video and live stream. But I actually said these things yesterday, so I'm not going to change my mind too much based on one thing. How to go with Aspie? Well, Azpilicueta will still be more nailed than most in Chelsea, but because I want to get Son in my midfield, one of the moves I have to make is doing Azpilicueta to Chilwell. Unfortunately, I would be priced out probably in a week or so's time, because a lot of the players I'm looking to get in are very hot property, like Foden, Son, and then probably Chilwell as well. How many points do you want? Honestly, mate, I don't know. I might check later, but right now I haven't checked. Don't buy Chilwell because he'll be rotated by Alonso. Says Melvin. But the thing is, though, if you have a good bench, you can cover that. But the good thing about Chilwell is he doesn't come on for 1-pointers often. Azpilicueta and Rudiger will start more games than Chilwell, you'd suspect, despite what we saw today. Have Smith Rowe, Chalobah and Kovacic in my differential, says Wanja. Really good, mate. I mean, I wish I could say the same, but Kovacic is actually an interesting one. I've always kind of been a bit hesitant about him, but another 2 assists today and one of the highest scoring players for Chelsea. So, fair play, mate. Disappointed with Edison at the end, yeah, but Phil Brighton deserved the goal anyway. Yeah, Edison conceding the penalty, but no surprises there. A bit of an overrated goalkeeper, to be honest. Thank God I didn't get rid of King this week. Absolute machine. What a haul. Oh yeah, Goldhead. I remember I actually told you yesterday, because you had, I think, Sarr, King, Ronaldo and a few other players you mentioned, and King was someone I said you probably should get rid of for Brocha or Tony or whatever. And that's the thing about timing and sometimes not listening to what people advise you to do. Ultimately make your own decisions. Fair play, mate. I would have probably gotten rid of King ahead of this week, and he got a hat-trick. Have you updated your game week score? No, I haven't, mate. I haven't. 69 with 5 to play. That's a really good score, Steve. What are your plans for next week? My plans will probably involve finding a way to get Son still, but not yet. It's all about timing. So ahead of Game Week 12, I'd like to have Son, and in order to do that, I need to make a few moves. So I can either downgrade one of my City defenders, potentially, to maybe Janssen from Brentford, for example, and then I can also do, for example, Antonio to Hwang, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks' time. And also another move, if Rafinha's out, he can become Mbumo, or if not, I can also just shuffle a few things. So I've got a lot of different plans. Let me actually show you, just so you have a visual representation. So building a team like this is on the cards, potentially, or if not, forget about Foden. I can still have, let's say, for example, Mbumo or someone like that instead of Foden. And then I can keep Diaz instead of Janssen, or maybe I can keep Azpilicueta and get rid of Diaz. So that's a different way to go about it, but I can actually build this team. The problem is I only have 0.2 remaining in the bank, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, isn't it? But the problem is that's 5 transfers, and by the time I'm able to make all of them, without taking hits, I will be priced out, if we're being realistic. So Son is going to go up in price probably yet again within the coming weeks. Chilwell is definitely, he's going to go up in price tonight probably, the way it's going. Phil Foden, the same thing, and even Hwang. So I'm very tempted. Obviously, I don't like taking hits, but I'm very tempted to take a big hit. But honestly, I think when you react and you knee-jerk like that, I think it's not ideal, because negativity breeds more negativity, and low scoring points breeds more low scoring points. So ultimately, I think that would probably be a bad move if I just suddenly took a -12, -16, or even a -8. Although I'd be a bit more inclined to do that than usual. I think it would be the wrong call. But yeah, I think Antonio to Hwang, Foden, replaces Saka. That'd be a good move. Obviously, Mbeumo could also replace Townsend, by the way. He hasn't been looking too good. Janssen can come in for Diaz, potentially, and Chilwell can come in for Azpilicueta. The reason why I'd have to do Azpilicueta to Chilwell is to fund the Son move in particular. But otherwise, maybe I can go without Son, but those Spurs fixtures look really good, and Son is someone that I've wanted for several weeks now, and because of the COVID news, I ended up not going for him. So stuff like that can definitely dampen not only your spirits but also your plans. 31 with 5 to go. Any good? I think in a week like this thing, it is pretty decent. It's not the best, but yeah. People have either really good scores or ones. No in between. What a game week, says Lipok. Yeah, unfortunately, I am on the other side of the spectrum, but that's FPL. You got to laugh about it because you can't do well every single week. I have 38 with 6 to play. That's good. Hydro. Yeah, I think that is. What are your thoughts on targeting good fixtures, even if it's only for 1 week? I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest, because let's say, for example, Kai Havertz, I could have targeted the fixture, got him in, and then he blanks. You never know. There's no guarantee that a good fixture will translate to points. So, not for me. If it's, for example, Heung-min Son or Harry Kane with a really good fixture run from Game Week 12 up until 25 or whatever it is, that's a good fixture run and a good transfer. But otherwise, for one, not for me. 33 points with Salah, captain, Vardy, Trent, Antonio, Tony. That's a pretty decent one, to be honest, Chowdhury. 16 with 4 to play. Not the best, but then again, I'm even worse probably. So, you know what? Just for all of you, because I know a lot of you will be wondering, how did he do? A lot of you will probably switch off after seeing this. Obviously, just bear in mind some graphic images are going to be shown on screen, and this will be my team. So, are you ready? Are you ready? 9 points. That is absolutely amazing. Oh my, 9 points before this week started. Okay, to be fair, at least I've got Livramento coming on. But Jesus Christ, that is tragic, isn't it? 16 points, technically, with Trent still to play. Oh my God. Salah captain. This is absolutely tragic. Antonio, Tony and Vardy. So at least my front line could do something. Maybe Salah can save my week. But Jesus Christ, that is awful. And Cancelo, what? He got a yellow card, didn't he? He got a yellow card. Oh, Jesus Christ. This week is absolutely awful. Rafinha injured out. I think I should probably go off the screen, shouldn't I? I probably should. And why? The FPL site isn't even working for me. That's a sign of how the day has gone. And I'll be honest, I know it sounds a bit weird. I woke up very late today. And as soon as I woke up, I saw the Chelsea lineup and I saw Azpilicueta wasn't starting. And I just knew something was up. Something wasn't quite right in the FPL universe, at least for me. And there you go. It's just one of those days. You got to laugh about it. That is absolutely incredible. Yeah, 1J, exactly. And if I was watching my own stream, which I probably wouldn't, I wouldn't be interested. But if I was, I'd be laughing. And I'd also make that grimacing face. I only have 13 points. Yeah, mate. Same here. Fucking hell, mate. That's brutal. Yeah, mate. Exactly. It's absolutely awful. But you got to laugh about it because it's just a game. Okay. I don't want to, downplay it. I do make videos about it and live streams. But it isn't my entire life, and it shouldn't be yours either. It's just a game. It's not like we earn a living out of it, do we? So, yeah, we just got to laugh about it. Livramento's my only will to live. Exactly, Alpha. Same here. And he is my saviour at the moment because 2 weeks in a row, clean sheet and a goal off the bench. Thank you very much, Livramento. And this is the week for Chelsea, really. Even their academy graduates like Broja and Livramento, they're scoring all the goals. Jota to Mount or Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva in real life is an amazing player, but I wouldn't go to him. I'd rather just get Foden, mate, over Mount and Bernardo Silva if you can afford it. If you can't, I'd probably say Mount because of the fixtures. But bear in mind, before today, Mount went 15 Premier League games without a goal. Apologies if I haven't read all of the comments and stuff. Obviously, I'd love to. I'll try my best to go as quickly as possible. Cancelo almost scored 2 goals, yeah, and he almost got an assist, didn't he, for Foden. It is what it is. You just got to laugh when you have these weeks. Exactly, Sing, exactly. And it's just a game after all, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're trash. Why are you making videos on live streams? I don't know, to be honest. I just like to have a bit of fun. Livramento coming off the bench 2nd time in a row for me. Exactly the same, S. Josh says, facts. Thank you very much, mate. I'm rank 1.5 million. Do you think by the end of the season I could get top 100k? Definitely, Nicholas. I keep talking about it. And look, it's not like it's my lifetime achievement or anything. It might sound like it because I always bang on about it. But 2 seasons ago, pretty much my first full season, I'd say playing properly. First half of the season, I took a massive amount of hits. I'm talking about over 100, maybe close to 200. And I was around, the million marks. I was even worse than you are by December, and I ended up finishing in 67k. And I was just I changed my entire play style. I went from just making random transfers to have fun, because honestly, transfers is the most fun thing to do in the game. I went from that to maybe just being a bit more patient and giving my players a time to prove themselves. And ever since I did that, I just kept going up the ranks. So yeah, you can definitely do it, mate. 33 points. I had Foden. Fair play, mate. That's a good, obviously, Foden's a really good player at the moment. Well, just in general, we know Foden's a good player, but he's a good asset to have. And I've always said this, I'd rather have him than De Bruyne this season, because De Bruyne, not only is he injury prone, but also can be benched from time to time. So can Foden, but you can stomach that when he's only 8 million compared to De Bruyne. Foden, Hall saves my Havertz captain. Yeah, I mean, you probably deserve it, because 2 good players for the week. Havertz didn't really do the business for you, but at least Foden did. 15 points. Yeah, Zane, don't worry. I've got 9, technically, isn't it? I forgot now. I don't really want to look at it. It's 9. Yeah, 9. But with Livramento coming on is 16. So it is what it is. There you go. It's absolutely tragic, isn't it? But let's actually break it down. Ramsdale at home to Villa. I did say I didn't back a clean sheet, but based on the first half performance, Aston Villa had exactly 0 XG. They had no shots on target. Arsenal dominated the game, and then as expected, we sat back. But then again, to be fair, Arsenal still defended well. Villa probably deserved to score, and that was an amazing goal by Ramsey, so nothing you can do there. Of course, Smith Rowe did really well. Aubameyang, only got 6 points, even though he got a goal and an assist, which is crazy. Then we look at my defence. Diaz and Cancelo, 2 of the best defenders and the best defence in the league, arguably, in City. They don't keep a clean sheet. Cancelo gets a yellow. Azpilicueta doesn't even start. When was the last time this guy was dropped? I don't even know. Probably the Villa game. Or if not, I think he just came off at half-time or something like that. Trent Alexander-Arnold, let's see how he does. Probably, looking at how the rest of my defence have done, probably he will blank. Livramento, fair play. I was lucky there. That's a bit of luck there. Townsend against Watford at home, and Everton scored twice. No points. Salah captain, hopefully does well. Rafinha off before the 60th minute mark, and he's facing Wolves, and Rafinha actually played well in the first half. So it is what it is. Vardy, Tony and Antonio, let's see how they do. Maybe my front line can do the business, but yeah, it's just been a really poor week. At least I benched Saka and Douglas Luiz. I was right to do so. Saka's finishing is so poor. Otherwise, I could have been punished even further. And if I had Smith Rowe instead of Saka on my bench, Jesus Christ, I probably would have logged off. There'd be no stream today, and probably no more videos or live streams for the rest of my life. Let's see. Salah might make your score look pretty with Lukaku going down. Most of FPL have captained him. Yeah, fair enough. But then again, a lot of people have vice-captained him as well. So I'm not really going to go up in rank. I'm around probably, after the Livramento sub, I'm around 150k, I think. But it's just looking really bad. Disastrous game week, yeah, at least for me. Some people are having a really good one. Obviously, fair play to any of you who are having a good week. Enjoy it, because these sorts of weeks where everyone's doing badly and you're doing really well is literally the pinnacle, mate. 9 is not that bad. You nearly made double figures. Thank you very much, Taylor. I mean, that's the kind of content and comments we want to see. Don't worry, Dylan. Your attackers and Salah will keep you afloat. Are you sure about that, Yogesh? The way it's going, I wouldn't be surprised if Salah blanks, Vardy gets off injured, under the 60th minute, Tony blanks, and Antonio picks up an injury as well. But I think one of them will do well, hopefully. What would you suggest doing with my team? Raya, Cancelo, Aspi, Rudiger, Trent, Mbumo, Salah, Rafinha, Kane, Antonio, Hwang, Ramsdale, Livramento, Gallagher, Doucouré. It's a good team. I think Doucouré is an injury, so you should get rid of him first, probably. Looking at the rest, that's still a good team, honestly. You don't have to make any transfers. I know it might seem like a week where you have to because you're doing so poorly, but honestly, I think that's a good team. Doucouré, get rid of him, and maybe Gallagher potentially. You can also get rid of him. A bit disappointing today, Gallagher. Sai snap Rafinha, yeah, he did. Absolute bastard. 60 points, 62 points with bonus. Damn. Livramento not coming off my bench though. 4 players left, and with Salah captained. I mean, you can't really complain there, mate. I mean, 62 points. Jesus. Sarr to Mbumo. Yeah, if not, you can actually go for Smith Rowe. But what I would advise for any of you, really wanted to go the Smith Rowe gun now, or bandwagon, is he's very inconsistent, just like Arsenal. And Smith Rowe's a quality player in real life, good prospect anyway, but he's not going to get double-digit returns every single week. Antonio captain, hopefully he does well, and also means Spurs will lose. 500k to 900k, yeah, I was around 79k, I'm now 150, currently 200-ish k. Jesus, but yeah, it is what it is. ESR second sub, says Liphook, yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't expect him to do that well. I probably would have benched him if I had him. Hey Dylan, would you rather transfer Aspi to Chilwell and bring Kane in for Vardy for a -4? I wouldn't take out Vardy, honestly. So I probably wouldn't. But Chilwell coming in for Aspi is not a bad shout. Just make sure you have a good bench, or at least a good defensive depth to make sure to cover for that. Really unlucky for you. Yeah, in a way. You could also say some bad decision making, potentially. Let's see. I mean, benching Livramento is a bad decision, and I was lucky to have him come on. But the team looks good on paper, I'll be honest. Maybe you disagree, but I think it's a good team. So sometimes, FPL is ultimately down to luck. You can make some good decisions and you can still do poorly, and vice versa. You can make some bad decisions and you can actually do really well. So it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Had Lukaku been available, how many points do you think he would have got? I think he would have scored 1 or 2 goals, and I think he would have gotten maybe between 9 and 12 points. That's what I think. Based on what we saw, Norwich absolutely awful, and apologies to any Norwich fans who are here, but just relegate them now. They offer nothing to the league, and they're a yo-yo club. They do absolutely nothing, and losing 7-0 to Chelsea, just get out, mate. I'm happy that I stuck with Rudiger last week. Yeah, fair play. If I had Rudiger and I didn't wildcard, I would have stuck with him. So you made the right decision there, and you got rewarded with a good haul. Anyone else looking losing rank quick fast? Well, I am, mate, don't worry. But then again, it's not saying much when you get 9 points. I was looking to get Son and Tony the entire week, my 2 free transfers, until I changed my mind right at the end and I prioritised fixtures and instead got Foden, Havertz and Tony for a -4. Well, that Foden move is good in the long term anyway. Havertz is a good 2 to 3 week punt, and Tony is a really good long term move, even if he does blank this week, which is likely. Have Kovacic as first sub, fair play. Hopefully he comes on for you. I'm happy that I stuck with... Oh yeah, I said that. I have Matip, Soyuncu, Jota, Cody, Lukaku, Rafinha. I don't know what to do, man. Wildcard already used. Yeah, those players I would get rid of for sure. Maybe not Rafinha if he's fit, but the rest, yeah. 24 points with 5 to play. That's way better than me, Hospa. So obviously, I shouldn't be the measuring stick because I literally had probably my worst week ever. But, enjoy it. What's the plan moving on, Dylan? So my plan moving on. So let's forget that, the 9 points. And let's look at maybe potentially 90 points. So I'm looking to get Son in, and my plan hasn't changed there. But maybe what has changed is maybe get Foden in the midfield and have an even better one, because I'd say one mistake I have made on my wildcard is my midfield. Salah and Rafinha are good picks, I still maintain that. But Saka, Townsend and Douglas Luiz, not so much. Obviously, it's very easy to say that now that Townsend's blanked. I still think he's not a bad shout, not a bad choice. But I think Saka was, because I wasn't actually that convinced by him. So I think increasing or improving my midfield by getting Son and Foden is on the cards. If I wanted to get Foden though, it would mean I have to downgrade Antonio to Hwang, and also maybe one of my City defenders or Chelsea defenders to a cheap one like Janssen, for example. The problem I have with this, and I discussed this earlier, is that I have 0.2 million remaining, and obviously all of these players I'm looking to bring in, Son, Hwang, Foden and Chilwell, they're all going to go up in price probably within the next week. So I'm going to be priced out. The only way I can afford this team, even in a few weeks' time, is basically just to do it now and to take massive hits, but not really feeling it, to be honest. So one thing I could do instead of this is actually keep Diaz potentially, or keep Azpilicueta, and instead of Foden I can just have Mbeumo, for example. Or if not, if Rafinha is fit, I don't mind keeping him, and that could be my team. But still, the same applies. 0.2 million remaining. Chilwell, Son and Hwang will probably go up, so I'll probably be 0.1 million off. So maybe instead of Diaz I could actually there's no difference, is it? It's the same as Azpilicueta. So yeah, literally there's a lot of players I want to have. I just play my wild card, and I have to keep stressing I wanted Son on my wild card, but the COVID news put me off. Otherwise that would have saved the transfer, and I would be in a much better position, I think, because Son ultimately long term I think is a better option than Foden and most, even Mount and Kai Havertz. So that's kind of my future transfer plans. Let me know what you think, what I should do. Another one is also Townsend, probably to Mbeumo, potentially. Smith Rowe, if I back Arsenal, but I don't know. I just don't like having Arsenal players, to be honest. Because if Arsenal lose and I get low FPL points, it's literally just the worst week ever. Your total was 9 and my Rudiger got 10. Yeah, I mean, enjoy it, mate, enjoy it. Is 50 plus points per game week good or bad? You'd want to average more than 60, I'd say. So yeah. Foden captain. Yep, that's fair play, mate. Callan, I actually put him 4th, I think, in the best captaincy video, or the preview video. And yeah, I mean, he was someone I highlighted time and time again. I thought he could be a really good captaincy shout this week. If I had him, he probably would have been at least my vice. I'll probably take a -12 next game week. I'm literally feeling it, mate. I actually, you know me. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't like taking hits, but I am thinking about it. So annoyed I picked Grealish instead of Foden on my wildcard in game week 8. Yeah, the thing is with Grealish, he is a slightly more nailed, or at least based on what we've seen this season. But Foden, points per start, he's far superior than Grealish. So yeah, Foden really good in my UCL team last season and this season, and hopefully he can do the same in FPL, and I'll definitely get him in. What are you doing with Rafinha? Didn't see the injury. He's got a knock, and it was a nasty clash with Saiss. So let's wait and see. Obviously, I'm just showing you my transfer plans. If I want to get Foden in, I'd have to get rid of Rafinha, and if Rafinha is out for game week 10, then that's what I'll do. But obviously, nothing is confirmed, okay? I'm just showing you my plans. They can change. Havertz captain. Yeah, mate, but at least you don't have 9 points. Hopefully you don't. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Well, actually, maybe 1 or 2. Thoughts on Havertz? Like, surely he will score against Newcastle. I wouldn't say surely, because once again, Chelsea can score with Chilwell or Alonso, whoever plays there, probably Chilwell, Reece James, Rudiger. You know, so many different players can score. They're defenders, they're midfielders like Kovacic, even Jorginho with a penalty, that little dumb bunny hop he does, Callum Hudson-Odoi. So they have so many choices. So not necessarily, but if I had Havertz, I'd keep him. I wouldn't just be getting rid of him now. Thoughts on, oh yeah, said that. Foden to Son or Rafinha to Son for a hit. Diaz to 4.5. I'd still rather have Son, but I wouldn't get rid of Foden. Good De Gea replacements. Just Raya, Ramsdale, even Sanchez, but I'd say Raya, Ramsdale, still the best keepers. You know, just invest less in your goalkeepers and more in the rest of your team. Should have taken Foden instead of Havertz. Yeah, but that's easy to say now. And Havertz can still outperform Foden in the next 2. And also Foden has some tough fixtures coming up. But I prefer Foden, if I'm being honest. Only positive for this game week was having a Kovacic and keeping him all this time and paying off. Apart from that, it was a bad game week. Yeah, but at least you have Kovacic. You've got some points on the board. You've got to take the positives. And, you know, this week has been poor for most people. Even Livermore on my bench, 7 points. Yeah, mate. It is what it is. You know, I'm a bit happy that Livermore is coming off for me. So I do have double digits. So, you know what? Great week. Great week. EFL Cup midweek means early press conference. Yeah, that's true. You know, one positive. Thank you, Harry. We need the positivity in here. And thank you very much to everyone who has tuned in so far. Obviously, I don't love plugging myself. But, you know, it is necessary. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe for new. You know the drill. And if you want to see more 9-pointers and more captaincy fails and more rank drops, then you can tune in. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Dylan_RCM. If you want to see more failures, this is the right place. Hopefully not, actually. But, yeah, obviously we're not done yet. We've been going for half an hour already. Damn, I mean, damn, time has gone by very quickly, hasn't it? I'm actually going to get the chat up now. Don't know how many people are watching. Yeah, 279 people. Really appreciate it. There's a lot of people tuning in on a Saturday night. I'd say you can actually think of this as therapy. Or maybe, for those of you who've done well, maybe just a way to, you know, see other people suffering and enjoy yourself a little bit more. So hopefully you get what you're looking for by clicking on this live stream. Rafinha for Mount. I still would rather have Rafinha, but if he is out, then you could consider that. But once again, I'm going to keep saying this. I think Foden is a better option than Mount, and he's a far better player. Dilemma by Chilwell or James. Do you think James is nailed? I still would rather have Chilwell because he comes on fewer times from the bench. So I'd rather have Chilwell. What do you think about Aspi to Rudiger now that he is back? I wouldn't do that, to be honest, unless you need that extra money. Otherwise, there's no need. I think Azpilicueta is still just as good. I still don't understand why I went Grealish over Foden. It depends when you did it, to be fair. This season, Grealish has actually been playing or starting most of the games. Call this hindsight therapy, yeah? I mean, maybe, to be honest. You are so entertaining, bro. Thank you. I mean, if I was watching myself, I probably wouldn't say that. I'd just say, this guy's bitter, you know. He can't even get 20 points. Why is he making FPL videos, to be honest? But appreciate the kind comments. Thoughts on Cornet from Burnley? He looked impressive today, didn't he? I think if Burnley actually do something, he will be the main spark in that team. So keep an eye on him, but I'm not going to say, you know, get him in just yet. I still don't trust Burnley. Rafinha versus Norwich, exactly. If Rafinha's fit, I definitely want him there. Norwich are awful, man. They could be the worst Premier League team of all time. You know, no offense once again to Norwich fans, but the team is awful. Lukaku, when will he be available? Any news? I talked about this in the previous live streams and videos. So I think during the last reaction stream 2 days ago, news broke out by Matt Law that Lukaku's out for a minimum of 2 to 3 weeks. So that's obviously at least, I know you know the English language, but I'm just saying, just to stress it. So he's going to probably be out for a month, if we're being honest. So maybe after the next international break. Even Ben Dinnery, injury expert, he thinks the same thing. So not too optimistic there. And I think Lukaku would have been really good for this. I was actually in a good position, I think. But that Lukaku injury did change, I think, the complexion of this week. Do you need a good mentality to do well in FPL? Good question. I think a good mentality helps. Same with anything in life. In FPL, I think the main thing is to not, let the bad game weeks really get into your head. You're going to have bad game weeks. Everyone will. It's impossible to avoid it. Eventually, the more you play, the more likely you're going to get one bad game week along the road. And when you have a good week, obviously enjoy it. But at the same time, don't let yourself, be fooled and think, I've completed FPL. I'm going to do amazing. I can get any rank I want. You still got to be realistic. You still got to have a plan. You can still deviate from the plan eventually. But I think ultimately what you want to do is keep a cool head at any time. Are you playing 4-3-3? Well, in Game Week 10 at the moment, yes, I am. But there could be multiple changes. I might take a -16, mate. Too risky having no playing bench. Like hold transfer for 2 free transfers with 11. Yeah, I think having 1 or 2 players on the bench is crucial, as you can see with Livramento, for example. So yeah. Lamptey coming back, what is your thoughts? Still not interested. He's injury prone, and also I just don't really rate him as an asset, to be honest. Obviously he can get some assists. He's a nice player in real life, but I wouldn't want him in FPL right now. Dylan, the team you support won convincingly at that. Your silver lining this week. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing though. The way I see it, if Arsenal win, I do badly in FPL. Trying to think of the last time both things happen at the same time. Arsenal don't win too often, so that's pretty tough. But yes, that's a good one. Thank you. I appreciate everyone who's been, putting these positive comments because I need it. I think I'm the one who needs therapy at the moment. Most legit knee-jerk in Broca, Mount, Cornet, or King? Mount probably because of the fixtures, but I would rather have Foden over Mount. And King, yeah, obviously really good today. Maybe it's a sign of things to come under Ranieri. Cornet, keep an eye on him. And as for Broca, he is an injury doubt. He's got an ankle injury, so let's wait and see first. Time to move out, say Maximan and Antonio out. Yeah, I'd say so, Arif, potentially, especially say Maximan. Keep or hold Christensen, have 3.5 million in the bank. It depends on what other transfers you're looking to do, but I think you can get Chilwell or Azpilicueta or Rudiger. Captain Rafinha next week. If he's fit, that could be a shout, but I'm probably going to be captaining Salah. Ben says, mate, you're funny without trying to. It's great. Thank you very much. I mean, I'll be honest though, in terms of like previous live streams and videos, I probably haven't, I'd say, brought a comedic side to it. I've just been, stating facts per se and chatting nonsense, to be honest. But you know what? That's pretty much what I do. Thank you very much, obviously, Ben. I'm literally waffling right now. Thoughts on bringing in Gray or Smith Rowe for Decore? They could be good moves, Kobe. Once again with Smith Rowe, he's going to be very inconsistent, so he could get you a double-digit return from time to time, especially in the home games. At the Emirates, actually, he's got 5 goal involvements, I think, in his last 4 appearances. I think it's 3 goals and 2 assists, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it's the other way around. So Smith Rowe is a quality player in real life, but the main caveat, Arsenal. Sometimes they just sit back and defend. Sometimes they're absolutely awful, like they were against Palace and Brighton. And sometimes they're absolutely amazing, like they were against Spurs and Aston Villa. So it depends on which Arsenal turns up. But Smith Rowe could be a decent option. The problem with him is that you'd sometimes bench him and then he could get 13 points and he's on your bench. And as for Gray, I still like him as an option. Same with Townsend potentially. And yeah, I think it's a good move. If not in Boomer, but I'm guessing you have him already. Saha says, yesterday I asked whether to put Livramento Smith Rowe for Hwang. I went with Livramento as you said. Aspi didn't start, so Hwang comes in. Smith Rowe misses out. FPL is so funny at times. Exactly. You see what I mean? Sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen. Tony or Hwang for the coming few weeks. I still prefer long-term Tony, but for the next few, specifically, I'd say Hwang. But long-term, definitely Tony. Don't worry, man. Dylan... don't worry, Dylan. Many of us, including myself, had terrible points so far. I believe tomorrow points will go up quite high. Hopefully, mate. It can't be that bad. It can't be as bad as today was. You never know, actually. Hi, mate. Oh, apologies. There's so many chats coming in. Hi, mate. Pretty Mayor week could have had +8 points if it weren't for a needless Edison tackle. Yeah, exactly. Could do Rafinha to Foden tonight, but definitely won't, as I don't know how long he's out for. Exactly. Also, the Carabao Cup midweek, more injuries could happen, and also Rafinha, if he's fit, he's playing Norwich. Go on, take a -16. I did it last week. Oh wow, you definitely want me to see me fail, don't you? I'll probably drop out of the top 1,000,000 if I do that. What are your thoughts on Alonso out for Trent or Saar out for Foden? Yeah, I'd rather have Trent over Alonso. I think that's good. And if you can do both of those moves, I definitely advocate that. But I'm guessing you have to do one of them. If I had to pick, I'd rather do probably Alonso out for Trent, because long-term Trent is a better asset than Foden even. But yeah, try to do both of them if possible. Livramento forcing his way into the FPL starting 11. Really good point, Sing. And yeah, why do I have him on my bench? Why? He should start, because he's literally my top goal scorer this week. And also top point scorer. Yeah, Rafinha injury is serious. Yeah, it could be. Let's wait and see. Are you looking at Chelsea fullbacks? I am, but if I'm being honest, look, I don't want to be completely knee-jerk. I know it's a reaction stream. The reason why I want to get Chilwell, let me show you once again, is to fund Son in midfield, which is something I've been banging on about for weeks and weeks and weeks. You're probably tired of hearing about it, but I need to do that transfer to get that extra few million. So Azpilicueta or Diaz could become Chilwell. I think that could actually be the way forward. One thing I'll say quickly before I talk about my transfer plans again, City defence I think is better than Chelsea, but Chelsea just find that way to get the clean sheets. With City, they just sometimes have this propensity to just concede a goal even when the game is wrapped up and all of this stuff. So maybe double Chelsea defence is the way to go. Obviously, very reactionary though to say that, because City still have better stats on the underlying stats, and Chelsea just kept a clean sheet against Norwich, who are one of the worst teams ever, really, in the Premier League. As for City, they just played a good Brighton side, but still, I think maybe double Chelsea defence could be the way to go. Instead of Diaz, I could have Azpilicueta still, and yeah, Son will come in for Saka. Rafinha could become Foden as well if that happens. If Rafinha's out, I'd be tempted to get rid of him, get Foden, and instead of Diaz, I'll get a cheap defender like Janssen, for example, from Brentford, and Hwang comes in for Antonio. So let me know what you think of my transfer plans. So let me just show you once again. Let me get this up. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it looks good on paper. So does my normal team, but guess what? Paper doesn't do anything, does it? Except drive you mad. So instead of Rafinha, let's get Phil Foden. Jesus Christ, FPL, what a wonderful game it is sometimes. A beautiful game of football as well. So, tell me what you think. Would you rather, yeah, okay, we're not doing a dare. Would you rather have this, or instead of Foden and Janssen, have either Diaz or Azpilicueta and have a stronger defence, and instead of Foden, a 6.8 million or under midfielder like Rafinha or Mbumo? Let me know what you think, but I am quite settled on this. I wish I had my wildcard still. Whenever I play my wildcard, it just seems to go tits up, doesn't it? But there you go. Keep Christensen. He will start next match. Yeah, if I had him, I wouldn't be in a rush to get rid of him. I agree. Then I bought Chilwell in for Aspie. Done deal. Yeah, I was actually thinking of doing it this week because before the Rafinha injury, because it actually just helps, save that price rise, which I need. I need every single 0.1 I can get so I can get Son in. But yeah, you know what? I don't know. Do you have 58 points, or is this wrong? Is this wrong? Yes, it is, mate. I've got 9 points. I've got 9 points. Yeah, I do. 16 if you count Livramento coming off the bench. But yeah, I'm 2k rank at the moment. I'm 4 players to go, including Salah captain. Yeah, that's really good, mate. Obviously, hopefully you do well and get into the top 1k. Can you show us your game week team with your points, please? Damn, a lot of people are really interested in seeing me fail. Well, here you go. Do you like it? Ramsdale 3 points, Diaz 2, Cancelo 1, Aspie 0, Townsend 2, actually that's the FU sign, okay, 2 piece, and Rafinha 1, and he's got an injury. That is absolutely crazy. Salah captain, hopefully he can do well. Trent, Livramento off the bench, what a saviour, what a lad. And the front line, we still got them, so maybe, if all goes well, I'm hoping for 30 points. That would be very good. In a week like this, Jesus Christ. Well, there you go. Those are my points on screen. Hopefully you enjoy it and you can have some comedy there. Nope, City defence is miles ahead of Chelsea's for sure. I agree, Ben. But Chelsea just keep getting these clean sheets. Then again, though, well, have they had easier fixtures? Recently, I'd say Chelsea have had easier fixtures, but over the season, they have faced a lot of good teams and they've still only conceded 3 goals, so it's a tough one. How did you score 58 points in Game Week 9? I didn't, Miguel, I didn't. I just haven't updated it because I was so embarrassed, and also I didn't even have enough time to update it as well, but I didn't want to, if I'm being honest. Get Reece James, then you'll have enough. Maybe. I'm not too sure. I like the 3 defenders draft better, says Vegard. Okay, you know what? I actually might put a poll out, so obviously thank you for your feedback, Vegard, and obviously you are a long-time viewer of this channel. 32 points with 6 to go. Thoughts? Way better than a lot of people. I'd take that. If I had 32 points in a week like this, I'd be very happy. I like the one without Foden. Yeah, okay. A lot of people are saying that. Yeah, that is looking pretty promising then. If not, maybe Foden instead of Son, but I don't think so. Akram, yeah, what's your question? Let me know so I can answer it. Unfortunately, there's so many different comments coming in. I can't, well, I'm trying to answer every question. Yeah, show your team this week. This is my team this week. Enjoy it, mate. 55 points with 5 people left. Really good, mate. That is amazing. That's reminding me of UCL Fantasy, where I'm actually doing well. Yeah, sad times. Rafinha, hopefully okay. Could smash Norwich. Yeah, anyone could smash Norwich at this point, to be honest. Injured before the Norwich match, potentially. Rafinha's either in doubt, injured, or an international duty the whole season, it seems like so far. Exactly. But to be fair, you know, most of the times he is an injury doubt. He actually scores, but yeah. Don't worry, mate. Your saviour Livramento, who you should start next week, trust me, it works, is getting 2 bonus points, whopping 18, Dylan. Oh, yeah, true. Livramento is getting an extra 2 points. Yeah, you know, 18 points isn't too bad, you know, actually. Really happy. Rafinha replacement. Obviously, don't just transfer him out just yet. He might actually play, and if he does, he could do really well. I'd say Mbumo's still a good replacement. Smith Rowe, if you want to go there, but I'd be looking mainly at Mbumo. And also, if you can stretch him, Phil Foden. I prefer him over Mount and Havertz, despite what happened today. Diaz out after Palace. Yeah, that could be on the cards, Miguel, to be honest. Chelsea won 7-0, and guess what? Havertz blank. I'm not too surprised, to be honest. Havertz is a bit inconsistent, to be honest. Why does it say you have 58 points this week? Because I haven't updated it, mate. If not, you know, I could just make it disappear, if it does bother people. I mean, yeah, people don't want to see lies, do they? So, oh, there you go. You see absolutely nothing but purple. Absolutely. That might be much better, actually. Let's not think about ranks. Let's just think about something else, maybe. Not FPL. All right, so what to do about Townsend? Maybe a straight swap to Mbumo is on the cards, to be honest, but I have other moves I want to make, especially because of the price rises and all of that. Fulton Jesus, as he's a guaranteed starter. I wouldn't say he's guaranteed, but he'll play out of 10, I'd say 7 or 8. So yeah, he's looking good, and I've talked about him before, but I still would rather have others. I have Semedo and Sarr. My heart was broken with an injury time penalty. It's that sort of week, isn't it, Colin? I think we should stick with the City defence. It's just variance for Chelsea. They'll concede soon enough. True. And also, Chelsea's fixtures from Gameweek 14 onwards are looking very poor. And I think that's when they'll be not found out necessarily. Hopefully they are. Hopefully they don't win the league. But that's hopefully when they start going down a little bit. I've got 50 points with a hit and the 3 Prem top scorers left to play. You're in a good position, Adam. And 3 top goal scorers in the Prem to rely on. That's not the worst thing in the world. Without removing our high price defenders, we can't get Son and Ronaldo when fixture swings in Gameweek 13 for United. Yeah, but you can't have everyone. This is the thing. Very difficult to kind of cover every single player. I have Smith for a bench for Hwang, unfortunately. I actually would have started Hwang instead of Smith Rowe, so it's not a bad decision, to be honest. 40 are free to go, including Salah captain. That's good, Miguel. That's a good score. Is Foden Kane better than Son Vardy? I still prefer Son and Vardy, if I'm being honest, but Foden and Kane isn't too bad. I have 50 points with a hit. Yeah, I've already said Adam. No need to keep repeating it, you know. Weird flex, but okay. Should I do Alonso to Trent or Grealish to Foden? Also, this Rafinha injury adds to the worry. Yeah, okay. I would do Alonso to Trent because at the moment it looks like Chilwell's playing all the games. What game week you getting Son? Around game week 12 if possible, Alfie. Yeah, exactly, nuisance. Rafinha better than Foden. Or is that Rafinha to Foden? Yeah, maybe. To be honest, I am thinking about that. Only week where I needed Pep rotations for Smith. Yeah, I guess that's Smith Rowe on the bench. The bold fraud didn't rotate. Yeah, Pep never does us a favour, does he? That's pretty much the moral of the story. I've got 61 points with 3 players left. How is this? That's really good, mate. That's really good. Imagine Salah blanks tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. It's that sort of week. Rafinha just said on his Instagram that he's fine, is nothing serious, and they will be back soon. Yeah, and I think he complained about the ref, didn't he? He put like a sarcastic comment saying the best refs are in the Prem. People question the decision, not the outcome. Exactly. It's very easy to talk afterwards and say getting Havertz is a bad decision, for example. But it's actually another thing to say it before it actually happens. I was never too keen on Havertz, to be honest. I thought he'd be a good captaincy shout this week, but I thought there are better options like Foden, like Salah, Vardy, Son, Kane, etc. Captain Havertz, yeah, it is what it is, you know. But if you have others like Chilwell and Reece James, it's not the end of the world. Did a wildcard and brought in Chilwell and Foden 2 weeks ago. Happy days, yeah. I mean, that's pretty good, Mark, to be honest. Chilwell and Foden, they look like very good acquisitions. I hope Kane does a Mazza against West Ham. I hope he doesn't, and I hope West Ham win 3-0, but probably not going to happen. Sell or keep Gray. I already have Mbumo. Oof. It depends who you'd get in, Sudhindra, but you don't have to get rid of Gray. I think he's not too bad. Is that a terrible week for most of the players or just us? For the majority, I'd say that I've seen, but still, I've seen quite a few people actually have good weeks. 32 points for Salah, Antonio, Trent, Vardy and Mbumo. What do you think? I think you can get 50, 60 points easily, and that's not a bad week considering, you know, how most people are doing. Back soon could mean 1 day, could mean 10 days. Yeah, that's true. Exactly, Chris. That's a really good point. Told you about Mount, bro, yesterday, says Trujo. Yeah, I mean, Mount, he's the one who did all the business, to be honest. Hey, do you think Mount is going to start to the next 2-3 games? I think so, only because it doesn't seem like he played today, but Lukaku and Werner, they should be out for several weeks, so that kind of paves the way for Mount, and after a hat-trick, how the hell are you going to bench him? So, I think so, but then again, it is Tuchel. 16 points with 4 left to go. Yeah, mate, I feel your pain, try less. I'm pretty much in a similar position. I think I have 18 or whatever it is, with 5 or 6 left, if you count the captaincy. Would you get a Brentford defender? Yes. As you can see here, one possibility is getting Janssen and Foden. But if not, and as other people have said, it could be, let's say, Rafinha if he's fit. Hopefully he is. Otherwise, I'm in the mud. Well, not like I'm not already. And let's say Diaz. Let's show a bit of faith in the City boys. There you go. So let's actually put a poll out. Let's see what you guys think, of course. I do value your feedback and your opinions. So let's create a little poll. We did one yesterday. It was a little bit of fun. Over 60% of you said you'd be captaining Salah. Which duo is better? Hopefully I can write this quick. So which duo is better? Not yes or no, mug. Alright, so Foden and Janssen. Wait, let's see. Bear with me with a second, guys, and then I'll get back to your questions. Yeah, Janssen. Okay. Alright, Janssen. Jamie Vardy's having a party. Foden. And yeah, Diaz. Oh, no. Rafinha, let's say, for example. And Diaz. Which duo is better? Foden and Janssen or Rafinha and Diaz? Let me know. And that will actually play a part in my future transfer plans as well. Apologies for not reading some of these comments. I was doing that poll out. Double up on Tony and Mbumo. Yeah, still on the cards, but you don't have to have both. Livramento and Brock on my bench. Oh, that is bad. And Brock is now an injury doubt. Why did I play White over Livramento? Yeah, I actually said I'd play Livramento over White. I didn't back Arsenal for the clean sheet, but then again, it was a really good goal from Ramsey. Alonso to Trent or Chilwell to James, please. I would still go for Trent long term. I still would rather have him than Chilwell and James, but if you want a Chelsea defender, go for Chilwell. 29 with Trent, Salah, and Mbumo, Antonio Vardy, not so bad. I think it isn't bad, Josh, considering, you know, how most things have gone. I believe Havertz will return soon. Yeah, he faces Newcastle and some really poor teams like Burnley, I think, very soon, so I agree. But then again, it's not a guarantee. Can you give me any hope Alonso starts against Newcastle? Says Colin. I think if Chilwell starts in the Carabao, there is a chance that Alonso does at the weekend, but I can't give you more than that. 65 with 5 left. I'm seeing some crazy scores today here. Gray and Rafinha out for Mbumo. Yeah, Mbumo. I still like Gray and Rafinha. Look, just let's wait and see with Rafinha. Don't, just get rid of him now. See the press conferences and then we'll see. Why not get Mbumo? I'm not saying I'm not going to get Mbumo, but the problem is, I think Son is a bigger priority, and these transfers I'm showing you guys is to facilitate the Son move, and they're also going to go up in price soon. So yeah, and also Townsend to Mbumo doesn't really help me in achieving the other moves I want to make. And Townsend can still do well. Obviously, I'm not really too confident in him at the moment though. So 52% of you have actually gone for Foden and Janssen. 67 points says Josh, fair play, mate. 24 points with Trent, Mbumo, Salah captain. Antonio and Kane left. Thoughts? That's really good, Kobe. Well, not really good, but it's good. I think you could get 50 points, I think. Potentially, maybe more. Should I do Sanchez to Raya? Sanchez bring in 4 points versus City and next game versus Liverpool. You don't have to make that goalkeeper move, I think. And yeah, I don't think you have to. But Raya, long term, I'd rather have him. As of today, my rank from 80k, I've gone to 3 million. What? To 3 million? Did you take hits, Caroline? What? The team on screen is a wild card or only for Game Week 10? It's not for Game Week 10. I'd change quite a lot if it was Game Week 10 specifically. It's my future transfer plans. I've already played my wild card. 75 points with 4 to go. Salah captain. That's incredible, to be honest. Took a -12 last week and had a green arrow. Same this week. 47 -12 with 3 players left to play. Looks like a hesitation to take hits. It's not worth it. Oh, yeah. I mean, over the years, some of my hits have actually been really good. So I think I took a hit or 2 to get Vardy in against Southampton, and they won 9-0, and Vardy scored a hat-trick. So yeah, hits can be worth it, but I think when you do it consistently, you run a very big risk. Diaz and Foden, says Jamie Boy. Yeah, maybe. It's very tight at the moment. Foden and Janssen are leading, so be sure to vote in the poll. Which duo is better? And it actually complements what you see on screen. So Diaz and Rafinha, they could become Janssen or another defender of your choice, and Phil Foden. I think that midfield would look incredible with Phil, but the defence, not so much. What do you think on Adam Armstrong? He could start if Brocha is injured, but yeah, it's not looking good. Play free this game week, Townsend and Mbumo, Livramento, Smith Rowe or Tony. I'd definitely start Tony and Mbumo and probably Livramento. That's what I would do. Wait. Yeah, that's what I do. Best replacement for Alonso? I think a like-for-like replacement for Rudiger, Chilwell or Azpilicueta. When are you going to transfer in Son? Around game week 12, basically. There's no rush, but I'd like to have him for that. Who would you get rid of for Trent, Semedo or Alonso? Because Alonso's not starting, I'd get rid of him, but if he were to start, he's a far better asset than Semedo. Is it time for Antonio out? Potentially, and he can still do really well, but you also have to think about the other players you want and cost effectiveness and value, and that's why I'm thinking of getting Hwang in or another striker. Had Dennis a second sub? That's tough, but didn't you get like 60 something points, so that's not too bad. 35 points with Kane captain, Antonio, Trent, Raya to go. Not too bad, you can get 50 points I think. Bring Mount, says Joker. For the next few weeks it looks good, but I still would rather have Foden, to be honest. Went from 350k to 15k with 92 points. Fair play, Emil. That's a fantastic week, mate. Probably your best in the season. Thoughts on playing a 5-2-3 with Livramento, Cancelo, Trent, Aspi, Rudiger next week? It's on the cards, to be honest. Those defenders like Cancelo and Diaz, of course, they have a really good fixture. And then you've got Aspi and Rudiger. They could do really well, to be fair. That's a good, solid defence. Caroline says, sorry, 300k. Yeah, I got scared there for a second. Saka and Rafinha to Son and Foden for a -4. I think the hit is worth it long term, but I probably wouldn't do it if Rafinha is fit. So that is a possibility. Wasn't able to catch up with your streams because I've been travelling lately, but glad to be back. So many people now. Don't forget us when you're famous. Don't worry, mate. I'm not going to be famous. I think if it does happen, I probably will forget you. I'm joking now. Yeah, appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, there's a lot of people today, isn't there? Let me actually try to get the exact figures. I don't have them on screen. Yeah, 277 people. A lot of people here, so obviously very much appreciated. When in the week are you going to transfer in Son? Around game week 12, Ibrahim. But it's not necessarily an exact timeline, but ahead of that, I want to have Son. But honestly, it's very difficult to have that. Armstrong has to go, surely. I think so. Yeah. Which team do you support? I support Arsenal. At least we won. 50 points with Salah and Mbumo and Tony captain to come. That's really good, Keith. Brocha worth a play or bench? It depends if he's fit or not, but I think he could actually be a good one to start because Watford have conceded 7 goals in 2 games under Ranieri. Best defender on the 5.2 have Trent, Diaz, Livramento, Williams, Marçal injured. I still like Christensen, but I would rather have another Chelsea defender instead. Maybe Janssen to cover Brentford's really good fixture run. Reguilon out for Chilwell? I think so, DJ. If not, maybe Azpilicueta or Rudiger. Should I take a hit to take Raya as my second goalkeeper? Sanchez for the first one. Brentford got good fixtures for the next game weeks out. Don't take a hit, especially if you have already a goalkeeper. I know Sanchez does have Liverpool, but don't take a hit for a goalkeeper in my opinion. To get the team I like by game week 12 or 13, I may need to take 1 or 2 hits, but it may be a bit risky as my rank is not where it was being 50k 4 game weeks ago. Now 120k. Still not too bad though. There's not much separating the kind of different rankings. Mbumo, good replacement for Rafinha if injured for at least 2 weeks. I think so. I'd still rather have Rafinha, but Mbumo is significantly cheaper. Vardy and Son or Kane and Foden? Still Vardy and Son for me, but I do like Kane and Foden. Unpopular opinion, Rafinha's overrated and should be sold after the Norwich game. Yeah, I can see why you're meeting that. This season he hasn't been too good in FPL. Looks like Gallagher is not a choice anymore. Yeah, I agree. Especially with Milivojevic coming into the side and taking set pieces of him. Should I bring Chilwell for Digne today, avoiding price rise, or wait till the cup fixtures? I'd say wait if you can. But then again, I actually might make some early transfers, to be honest. Broja versus Hwang. I still prefer Hwang, but keep an eye on Broja. He's looking very promising at the moment. My plan was to take upon a Mount before Lukaku got injured. Ended up getting Son and Tony instead. But long term, I think Son is a better option. So not the worst decision in the world. Hi Dylan, great stream. Please answer my question. My team: Raya, Foster, Aspilicueta, Chilwell, Cancelo, Trent, Manquillo, Salah, KDB, Havertz, and Boomer, Brownhill, Broja, Antonio Hwang. I would get rid of KDB because just for that price, the fact that he can get benched from time to time, he's not worth it. You can move him on to Foden. I'd keep the faith with Havertz for a little bit longer, but long term I wouldn't want to have him. I'd rather have, for example, Son. You could easily get Son and Foden for KDB and Havertz, and you improve your team massively. I like your strike force, although maybe having a premium like Vardy or someone else as a placeholder potentially could be the way to go as well. So consider that. But I would definitely move KDB on. I think that is just absorbing too much of your money. Your defense is good though, very solid. But yeah, I think KDB is the biggest concern there. I have $5 million in the bank, so I don't care about prize rises. Yep, unfortunately, we don't all have that luxury. Welcome, Genius Gamer. Should I take out Bruno and Fornals out for or Lukaku and Ronaldo for Vardy and Hwang? I would get rid of Lukaku and Ronaldo for Vardy and Hwang, Manish. Thank you very much for the for becoming a member, Kenny. Obviously, you have joined in once again to the stream. Really appreciated. And you didn't have to, but obviously, once again, I really appreciate it. Same with everyone else who's become a channel member recently and also sent in super chats. Very much appreciated, as always. What would you consider a good game week? Anything over 30 with several players left to play, in my opinion. Should we be worried about Duffy? I'd say so. But then again, you know, if he's your fifth defender, it's not the end of the world. But I was considering getting him, actually, instead of Janssen, potentially. And that would give me even more money, and I don't have to, you know, be in a rush to get all these players in. Early transfers, Saka and Rafinha to Son and Foden. I think that's good on paper, Ali, but once again, I talked about this before. I answered your question. Rafinha could be fit for Game Week 10, so just wait and see. But I think those two transfers are worth it. What will be your replacement for Rafinha? Either Phil Foden or Mbeumo, I think. It depends on if I'm going to be big at the back still, or if I downgrade Diaz, and that's why I've got a poll at the moment. And at the moment, Foden and Janssen are winning. But then again, after Foden got that score and City defenders blanked, I can understand why. Surely sell KDB after Palace. Yeah, I think KDB will play against Palace, so you probably wouldn't want to get rid of him then or before then. But yeah, definitely sell after that. Son or Kane from Game Week 12. I still prefer Son because of the price, but Kane should get into some form now. Get rid of Cancelo soon. No, I don't think so. I still think Cancelo is one of the best. If he starts losing, his minutes, then that's when I would get rid of him. Our wildcard draft looks so good at the time. Then within 2 weeks, it can look awful. Exactly that, Adam. Adam Bond. Yeah, but yeah, that's exactly right. Son or Mahrez, definitely Son. There's no competition. Who do you transfer in for Antonio and say Maximan with 1.3 million in the bank? Good question. I would maybe do Antonio to Tony or Hwang. And say Maximan to Vardy. That's what I would do. Force and Bernardo Silva looking quite good and pretty nailed. As an FPL asset, I don't think he's a consistent, goals or assist man, but a quality player in real life. I'd still rather have Foden from the City midfield. And I said this yesterday as well. I forgot to say for Salah and Luiz, for Bruno and for Niles. You don't have Salah? Yeah, you have to get Salah, mate. Yeah, get Salah. What about Pinnock? Give me some opinions on Janssen and Pinnock. So if we actually look at the top scoring defenders this season, Janssen and Pinnock are both on 40. But then again, I think with Pinnock, he had that really big haul in Game Week 1. Janssen, I think, has been more consistent. He's only blanked twice this season against Chelsea and Brighton and Hove Albion. And in every other game, he's gotten a clean sheet or an assist. No goals so far. I think the underlying stats do suggest that a goal could be coming for Janssen. They're both good options. I think I'd rather go for Janssen, but then again, Pinnock is 0.1 million cheaper, so there's not much in it. They literally have the exact same number of points. But I think Janssen, his attacking contributions are a bit more sustainable than Pinnock, so I probably would prefer him if you can afford it. So that's my opinion on the matter. Lamptey looks so good. Yeah, but once again, in FPL, he just gets injured too often, and I don't really like that, to be honest. Kenny, thank you, obviously, once again, for becoming a channel member. 7 goals in a game and 0 contributions from Havertz. I think I'm going to add a little more money to go Son or Rashford. Yeah, I'd do the same. I wouldn't go for Rashford, personally. I'd just go straight for Son. How many transfers and hits are you planning to take for the next game week? If possible, no hits and just 1 transfer. But, to build the team you see on screen, unfortunately, I probably have to take some hits. Otherwise, I'm going to be priced out, simply put. But you know what, actually? One thing I do like about this, I can build this team, yeah? Oh, this is amazing, you know? This is absolutely amazing. Wait, have I done this right? Wait, surely it can't be right. Okay, a bit of a herpy dirt moment at the moment. 8 points, only 8 points. A -8 actually looks amazing now. But yeah, getting Hwang in for Antonio, Son in for Saka, and Chilwell in for Aspilicueta, only for a -8. But yeah, I mean, okay, you know what? Maybe after a few drinks or something over the weekend, maybe I'll just take the hits. I don't know if I've done that before. I wouldn't recommend that, by the way. But yeah, at the moment, Brian, in all seriousness, I am thinking of just doing one transfer. But same thing applies. I think I'd need to take a hit to be able to afford this team. What about Bowen? He's a bit underrated. I'd still rather have Benrahma, and also with all the other midfielders around, like Foden, Son, you know, more expensive price, and Mbumo, Smith Rowe, Townsend, Gray. I'm just not too sure, to be honest. Get rid of Salah? No chance, mate. I'm not getting rid of Salah. Look, I'm already doing badly enough. If I get rid of Salah, I'm literally just signing my death warrant, so no thank you. I think Bowen's not bad. Yeah, I don't think so either, but I probably wouldn't go for him. Son and Rafinha out for a hit or wait 1 week? I'd say wait 1 week, because if Rafinha plays against Norwich, I think he'll outscore Son potentially. Will Foden start versus Palace? I think so, but once again, it's Pep, and same with Tuchel, just you don't know what's going to happen. I have Dennis 2.7 in the bank. Should I get Tony? I would do that swap. Even though Dennis did well today, I'd do that swap. Kenny says, took a 16-point hit after a night out. 0 out of 10. Please don't do it. Yeah, fair enough. But this is only a -8. If I did Janssen and Phil Foden, that's when it becomes a -16. A -8 isn't too bad, isn't it? Doesn't look too bad suddenly. And also Saka, I just don't like him as an FPL asset. Decisions, isn't it? But get him rid of. Let's be actually, logical here. Doing a sideways move from Aspilicueta to Chilwell and getting rid of Antonio for Hwang, for a -8 is very risky. But then getting Son, Chilwell and Hwang looks really good. But if Chilwell gets benched in game week 10, then I just look like a right mug, and I already do, to be honest. What rank are you at, bro? I think right now, I'll be honest, I haven't checked properly, but I'm around 200k. Let me actually do some research. Should I even do that? Probably not. Let me get my phone out. Let's check livefpl.net and let's see the travesty that is my rank. But I think with the Livramento substitution, I go up to 150k, but currently I'm around 220k or something like that. How are you? I'm really good, Luca. Hopefully you are too. FPL-wise, no, but FPL isn't everything, to be honest. Leeds look too inconsistent yet, and that even affects Rafinha, which shows how bad they are. Thoughts on bench boost and triple captain? You likely to wait for double game weeks? Yeah, save them for double game weeks, especially the bench boost. You have to use that, I think, in a double game week, Adam. Shit, what did I miss? Swear word. I transferred in Son for Foden because I was afraid of the Pep Roulette. Yeah. Wait, so do you not know what happened today? Well, Foden did get a double-digit return. I'm guessing you know that already. But Son I still think he's a better option than Foden. One really crucial question, should we go for early transfers to cope with price rises or late transfers about having injuries news? Well, based on what we saw last week, you'd say just do the transfers early, because look at Jimenez, for example. He actually started and he got the assist. A lot of people got rid of him for a hit. But ultimately, normally I just say wait for as long as possible, have as much information at your disposal, and you make the most informed decisions. But I am tempted, I'll be honest, to actually take a hit this week. But it's not the wisest thing to do because we do have Carabao Cup midweek. Are Lukaku and Rafinha's injuries long term? Zoran, we don't know about Rafinha yet. Apparently he is fine according to himself on Instagram, but he could still be out in game week 10, so let's wait and see. As for Lukaku, Matt Law from The Telegraph reported the other day that he's going to be out for a minimum of 2 to 3 weeks, so he could be out for a month and be back after the international break. If you were to get a Norwich asset, who will that be? Absolutely no one, mate, but it'll probably be that 4.5 million midfielder. Trying to remember the name, but yeah, let me actually search up his name. Ends with N. Look how helpful that is. Ends with M. Oh, Jesus, what an amazing expert. All right, so let's get this guy's name. Norman. Yeah, Norman. I was thinking of Norman, but I was like, wait, really? I was thinking of Norman Osborn, but yeah, there you go. Norman. That's the only guy I'd consider. Norwich. No. How to know our FPL ID? Very good question. So let me actually show you live. Okay, I'm not an expert though. Just saying. All right, so if you go to the FPL site, let's say you're here. Oh wow, amazing. Okay, my screen is cropped, but basically on the right-hand side of your screen, it says My Team's Kit, Fan League. It shows your leagues that you're in and stuff like that. You go all the way down to Transfers and Finance. It's right next to the Fixtures section. Click on View Transfer History. When you click on that, in the URL, there comes a number. So it will say fantasy.premierleague.com/entry, and then it'll say /your ID and then /transfers. So you can actually see your overall history, and you can see the transfers. So yeah, that's how you see it. Hopefully that helps you out. I actually kind of found out kind of by accident, really. I didn't ask anyone or anything, but I was always wondering, how do people actually know their IDs, and I just stumbled across it, to be honest. Who would you bench, says Miguel. Out of who, mate? Are you talking about my team? I'm guessing you're talking about my team on screen. So if I had this team going into game week 10, I would play Ramsdale, Chilwell, Trent, Cancelo, Diaz probably. I'd bench Livramento, Son, Rafinha, Salah, and then my front three. So I'd probably bench Townsend, Livramento, and Douglas Luiz. That's what I do. Let me know what you think. Townsend can still do well against Wolves though, but not really feeling Townsend at the moment. Hwang or Tony? I still prefer Tony long term, but for the next few Corey, I think Hwang is good. Kenny says Aspi plus Antonio to Hwang and Chilwell. Maybe pace it out, get Hwang plus Son, then do the Chilwell transfer later as it's sideways. Yeah, Kenny, I think that's a shout. The only problem is they will probably go up in price, maybe even double by the time I do that transfer. But I think you make a really good point. I think that is the way to go. I actually might do that, mate. So a -4, Hwang and Son in for Saka and Antonio. Yeah, Kenny, you beautiful bastard. I'm not, saying bastard in a rude way, by the way. That actually could be the way to go. I'll definitely think about that. So really good idea there, Kenny. I'm actually thinking about doing that. If you take a -8 tonight, it would mean a total haul of 1 point so far this weekend, but a better day tomorrow. Yeah, but either way, the points aren't taken away this week. It will be taken away by game week 10. Rafinha has a knock. Yes, he does. That's the problem with potentially taking a hit today, because if Rafinha's out, then it's just not really looking too good, is it? And maybe actually I could get rid of Rafinha instead of Saka, but I just don't rate Saka. This game week, oh lord, Ederson messed up big time. Wouldn't be the first, What did he do in the Champions League final against Havertz? Got chipped by Di Maria in the Copa America final. Yeah, Norman, exactly, Will. Why didn't Duffy play? I wish I knew that, Sam Jones, but he's been accumulating a lot of yellow cards recently, so maybe that's one way to go about it. He's going to be suspended soon if he keeps on playing and getting these yellow cards. Should I look to move Ramsdale on if I have other priorities? If you don't have other priorities. If not, how long should we keep him? If you've got absolutely nothing, then you could, but I'd only move him on to Raya, really. I still think Arsenal and Ramsdale can offer some good value, but Arsenal are just so inconsistent and still conceding the odd goal. Sanchez giving 4 points even after conceding 4 goals is great. Yeah, I'd take that, mate. 4 points is looking amazing, to be honest, from one player. Which transfers are you planning to do? Potentially Hwang in for Antonio and Son in for Saka or Rafinha, and then Chilwell in for Azpilicueta. Wait, actually, I just realised, and this is the same thing for Kenny. The reason why I'd have to actually get in Chilwell now is because, let's say, for example, I kept Azpilicueta. I wouldn't be able to afford the move. I'd be 0.2 million short. So I actually have to get Chilwell in. That's the reason why I'm doing that move. It's not because, he scored 3 times in a row. He's amazing. He's the best left back in the world. No. But I actually have to do that to fund the move. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's not as easy as it seems. Yeah, that's why I've decided to get Chilwell potentially. So, yeah, basically my transfer plans are Chilwell in for any of my City defenders or Azpilicueta, Hwang in for Antonio, and Son in for Rafinha or Saka. Let me know what you think. It can also be Foden coming in for my other midfielder like Rafinha, and that will mean moving on Diaz potentially to Janssen. So let me know what you think. I'll keep this on screen. 300k overall currently, says why. Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's not the worst in the world. I wouldn't double up on Man City defence. Well, I already have, to be honest, but maybe you have a point. Maybe I should get off it. I think long term, though, they will outscore the Chelsea defenders, but Chelsea just managed to find the clean sheets even when they don't deserve it, like against Brentford. Would you keep Rudiger or Diaz to bring in Trent on Game Week 13 onwards? You already have Cancelo, Chilwell. I would probably get rid of Diaz then in that case. But just bear in mind, Chris, that long term, he's got better fixtures than Rudiger. Lukaku and Rafinha, long-term injury. Yeah, Zoran, I already answered this question, mate. When are you planning to get rid of Vardy and for who? I just got him in, Jammy boy. I'm not getting rid of him. Hello, who would you rather get sooner after game week 10? Son or Mbumo? Son, definitely, despite the fixtures. Saka, Jimenez, Tonio, Diaz and Rafinha, if injured for a few weeks. To Foden, Tony, Broca, Chilwell and Son by game week 12-13 would need 1 or 2 hits. If Rafinha's okay, could leave and get Foden just 1 hit. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad, Marco, and those players are getting rid of. Some of them are good, but I think you are upgrading overall. Broca, let's see if he can maintain these performances. I have Son and Kane. What are their chances to haul tomorrow? I think they can both do really well. I think one of them will score, but let's wait and see. Should I get rid of Gray or Gallagher to get Son in? Probably Gallagher, but he's not bad still, Gallagher, but he's just lost that appeal. Losing set pieces to Milivojevic, his underlying stats have gone down, and he's not really showing that. Are you doing these moves tonight? I don't want to be honest, because what if Rafinha's out? And that's also another transfer to make. Also, what if more injuries come about in the midweek? I'm not too keen, but I might, to be honest. Dennis has to go now, right? Got 7.5 million for replacement, so I shouldn't overthink. Just get Tony. I still would just get Tony, to be honest. I think it's the right time to get him. But then again, wait. Don't do it now. Wait for tomorrow. See if Tony's fine after the game and unscathed, and then make the transfer. Let's just hope for better points tomorrow. Good night, Dylan. Exactly, Sadindra. Good night. Obviously, I appreciate it's very late in Malaysia. Thank you very much for tuning in. Who should I take out in midfield? Got Mount, Rafinha, Salah, Gray, and Benrahma. I would wait first, but if Rafinha is injured, then I get rid of him. But otherwise, I get rid of Benrahma and Gray potentially, and I get maybe Mbumo. And also, what you could do is find money elsewhere and get Foden in your midfield or Son. That's what I would do, John. Manish says, rate my team: Raya, Shaw, Livramento, Diaz, Tomiyasu, Benrahma, Bruno Fernandes, Gray, Lukaku and Ronaldo. Some interesting differentials in there. Ultimately, I would get rid of Shaw for sure. I keep saying that. Why do I always say for sure after saying Shaw? It's like a click in my head. But yeah, I'd get rid of him and Benrahma. Even Bruno, Fornals. Those would be the ones I'd be looking to get rid of, and Ronaldo. The rest is fine. Well, actually, Lukaku is injured, isn't he? So yeah, he's another one to get rid of. If you have your wildcard, I would probably wildcard. But if not, I would personally first do Lukaku down to Vardy. If not, you can get a cheap striker like Tony and then get Son in midfield. That's what I would do. But yeah, those players I would definitely get rid of. Llorison for game week 12? Nah, not for me. I might roll the transfer this week. Thoughts? Yeah, if you're not in a position to do so, I probably would as well, to be honest. Rafinha's okay. He posted on Insta. Hopefully, but what is okay? He could be out, like someone said earlier, for this game week. You could still pace it with Son for Rafinha instead of Saka to cover the 0.2 difference, I think. But then again, I don't know about leaving out Raf. It's Saka versus Raf in the end. I still prefer Rafinha, to be honest. Son or Foden for next week. I think Foden for next week, but he might not start. Overall, just don't think about 1 week, Ibrahim. Just think about the long term. I think Son is better. Overall, 13 thanks to all the content providers. I listen and take note, says Steve. Fair play. I mean, I honestly wouldn't like... I mean, if you do actually get something out of the content creators, then fair enough. But I don't know. Ultimately, it's your decisions. You're the one who makes the decisions. You might be informed. You get some stats from these content creators, and that's fair enough. But ultimately, it's down to you. And 13 overall is crazy, to be honest. Foden, Hwang, Chilwell, all rising today. Maybe we wildcarded at the wrong time. Maybe. I mean, if I had my wildcard now, I'd be so satisfied playing it, to be honest. Will Rafinha be fit for Norwich? I think so, Kai Havertz. And by the way, you should have scored. Actually, no. I'm happy you didn't score. Yeah, I think he will be, but I could be wrong. Let's wait and see when the press conferences come about. Green Arrow with an 8-point hit and into the top 350k, less than 100 points between me and the top 50. Yeah, that's good, and that's why hits can pay off, and I'm probably just trying to talk myself into one. Cody to Chilwell, can't afford it after tonight. Yeah, Kai Havertz, go for it. I'd probably go for it, to be honest. Replacements for Armstrong, because I think Tony's the one. Definitely Jammy Boy. Tony. I know Hwang is impressive. I'm looking to get him in, but I'd probably go for Tony. Get rid of Diaz, Cancelo or Aspie for Chilwell. Probably Diaz or Aspie. I would keep Cancelo for the time being. I'd probably get rid of Diaz, I guess. But then again, long-term, City are better than Chelsea, I think, with the fixtures. Is Mount a good option? Yes, he is for the next few weeks. But when Lukaku and Werner come back next month, if they do come back next month, I think that's when Mount will start to be rotated again, and he's not going to be as impressive. Let me actually just... Damn, come on, man. Thank you. Yeah, I was just plugging in the thing. All right, who would you rank in order of priority to possibly transfer in? Chilwell, Tony, and Foden. Says Marco, it depends on who you're getting rid of, to be honest. So let me know who you're getting rid of, and then I can answer that better. Tips on Chelsea players. 1 or 2 Chelsea defenders as always, and for the time being, I still think Mount or Havertz in the midfield is the way to go. But bear in mind that in a few weeks' time, Mount and Havertz could be made redundant basically yet again because Lukaku and Werner will be back. Have you ever made a mistake of a transfer? Of course, mate, Manish. I mean, I wish I was immaculate, but I'm not. I make a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes over transfers. Everyone has, I think. Alonso for Chilwell. Yeah, I mean, but this is the thing though. 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, Alonso was starting every single game. I mean, things just changed so quickly. But for now, yeah, Chilwell looks better. Ramsdale feels like a bad choice on a Game Week 8 wildcard. Yeah, but the thing I like about Ramsdale though is that even when he blanks, he still gets a save point or something. That's what I like about him. What do you recommend having to get news, if that makes sense? Do you mean in terms of like sources for getting the news? I mean, Twitter's very important, but yeah, I'd be just keep an eye on the press conferences, to be honest. If that's what you're asking, by the way. Basuma, a best downgrade for Sarr. He is back fit. Yeah, but Basuma's not really going to get you points. I wouldn't want to start Basuma. Dude, I went for Grealish instead of Foden, Rafinha instead of Bernardo, and Aspi instead of Chilwell on my Game Week 8 wildcard. I don't think Rafinha instead of Bernardo is a bad choice. I still think he's a better asset this season. The rest, Aspi is still more nailed than Chilwell. You've just been very unlucky, to be honest. The only one that I disagree with you is Grealish instead of Foden. I wouldn't have done that, but the other two I probably would have done the same. Hwang or Broca? I prefer Hwang, but Broca's looking really impressive. Is it worth transferring Jimenez out for Hwang? If it gives you enough money to get Son or another player you really want in the midfield or somewhere else, then yes, Corey. Tierney or Semedo to Chilwell? Well, Tierney is injured at the moment. I'd probably say Tierney, but I'd also get rid of Semedo soon. Who should I get now, says Manish. Yeah, Lukaku out for Vardy, for example. I'd do something like that, or if not, to Harry Kane. Yeah, that's what I'd probably do. 44 points and still 5 players to play. That's pretty good. Cal, Chilwell or Cancelo? I still prefer Cancelo, but Chilwell at the moment is looking really good. Who would you pick, Foden and Tony or Son and Hwang? Good question. Really good question. I would probably go for Foden and Tony because Tony's fixtures are also really good. If you had no budget constraints, would you move Aspi to Chilwell? Good question. Maybe not because I'd also want to make a transfer elsewhere, like, for example, Townsend to Mbumo. But, yeah, maybe. If I had no transfer to make, I probably would do it. Good move. De Bruyne and Lukaku out for Kane and Havertz or Foden? Kane and Foden. I've always said this, by the way. I'm not reacting just because of today. I said it yesterday and the day before. Marçal replacement. Maybe a Brentford defender, Pinnock or Janssen. Rafinha to Mount and Christensen to Trent, or Rafinha straight to Son and drop Antonio to fund Trent in Game Week 11. Says Jared, I would go... yeah, I do Rafinha straight to Son. But then again, Rafinha might play. So just wait. Hold your horses for now. Son and Vardy or Kane and Lucas Moura for Game Week 12? Definitely Son and Vardy. Lucas Moura? No, Son and Vardy. Already used the free transfer to put Tony in for Sim-Maximan, worth a -4 to get Chile. Oh, Chilwell. Oh, I thought you were saying Chile. No, but if you have to because of price rises, then yes, but otherwise don't do it. Pinnacle Janssen, I've talked about this before. I think Janssen, in terms of the underlying stats and also just in terms of the sources of points, I would rather have Janssen, but they've both got the exact same number of points and there's not much to split them. It's 50-50. Antonio for Hwang, I am thinking of doing that, George. Would probably Diaz to Chilwell, Jimenez Antonio, which you would do, Tony and Saka, Rafinha to Foden, may even do multiple for a hit. Also trying to fund Son in Game Week 12. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing something similar. And by the way, in the poll, 60% of you have said Foden and Janssen is better, but unfortunately, that means another -8. But what I actually might do, it's not what I normally do, but I might take a -4 or a -8, get Chilwell, Hwang, and Son. Son, of course, Son, that's the main attraction there. For a -8, and then in a few weeks' time, get Foden and Janssen for Diaz potentially and Rafinha. So that's what I'm thinking of doing, but ultimately there's just no right or wrong answer at the moment, is there, in FPL? Would you transfer Adam Armstrong out for Jesus in one transfer? Yes, Adam. If not, I just go for someone else like Tony, Hwang or Vardy. When's the next stream? Because I'm probably going to go. The next stream will probably be next Friday. So a deadline stream on Friday. Obviously, I'll put a poll out. If some of you want an early deadline stream on Saturday, then I could do that as well. And then, yeah, the reaction stream will probably be Saturday or Sunday next week. So that's kind of the next time I'm going to be streaming. And then for Champions League, that will be on the Tuesday of the following week, I think. Akram says, I'm tuning in for Pakistan. It's very late. Yeah, you read your team out, and I actually I did read it out, mate. 23 points, actually 29 with Broca coming in, Raya, Trent, Salah, captain, and Boomer, Antonio to go. Is this a good week? Yeah, that is good. You got Broca coming in, and he's also getting a bonus point, I believe. So yeah, that's looking good. What? Okay, well, what did I just read here? If you were would Son be your type? What kind of question is that? No, he wouldn't. And no. Foden nailed, says Harvey. He's not going to play every single game. That's the way I see it, but he's going to play the vast majority. Thank you very much, Mevlin, for the shout out. And yeah, as he says, subscribe if you haven't already and smash the like button. It really helps out with the algorithm. Do you think 340k is a good rank so far? I think so. It's not ideal, but it's a decent rank, I think. And also, it's very early on in the season. So Grealish to Foden or Mount? To Foden, mate. I'm not going to change my mind about that, despite Mount's heroics today. Should I keep Havertz or swap him for Mount? I still keep Havertz. If you're already, gone with him, and you can also make transfers elsewhere. But I would rather have Mount. Don't be afraid to take hits, by the way. Well, the problem is taking hits consistently. I'm not that afraid of taking hits. I think I've taken a -4 this season. No stream tomorrow. No, Ibrahim, because unfortunately I am busy tomorrow. That's why I'm doing the reaction stream today. But either way, I think most people enjoy it on the Saturday. Hi, rate my team, please. Have Raya, Trent, James, Chilwell, Duffy, Livramento, Salah, Son, and Boomer, Rafinha, Vardy, Hwang, Lukaku. Yeah, Lukaku, move him on to Tony, I think, and then get... well, you've already got Son and Salah. I like your defence. I still would rather have Azpilicueta or... you don't have a City defender, do you? And City have some really good fixtures coming up. I would still do, personally, Lukaku down to, let's say, Tony. I would also... Depending on Rafinha, what happens with him, obviously bear that situation in mind. But if he's fit, keep him. Duffy, that's a concern. The fact that he's now not playing, but he is your 5th choice defender after all. But you could get Ben White, and I think you're sorted there. And I would rather have Cancelo or Azpilicueta or Diaz for Reece James. Tony or Hwang, Tony for me, but I like Hwang too. Would you wait till Game Week 12, 13 to get Foden? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Foden's doing really well at the moment, but he's got some tough fixtures coming up soon. I think he'll still do well, but I'm not in a rush to get him. Take a -8 next game week to get Son, Vardy and Hwang. I'm looking to do something similar, Ibrahim. It depends who you get rid of, but I think, yeah, it could be worth it. Worth a -4 to get Chilwell in for Alonso tonight before the price rise. Look, I'd say yes, but the problem is if you take the hit, Alonso starts, Chilwell doesn't, you're going to be probably punching yourself. Welcome, Mr. Kinslayer, for tuning in. Thank you very much. Alejandro says, I am tuning in from Somalia. It's very late here, but it's nice to hear you here. Thank you very much. Good to see you here. My overall rank dropped like a roller coaster, so did mine, mate. But some people have had it worse off, so I'm not going to complain too much. How does Sanchez, Rudiger, Trent, Chilwell, Salah, Son, and Boomer, Foden, Vardy, Hwang, Tony, with Livramento and Janssen on the bench sound? Yeah, that looks good. I can see why you're trying to get to this team, Josh. In terms of any problems I'd have, not really anything. Mbeumo doesn't, fill me with confidence. And I would rather have Raya or Ramsdale over Sanchez, but yeah, that's kind of nitpicking. I like that team. Matt Lucas says, I think I rated your team already, by the way, but he says, I have Raya, Trent, James, Chilwell, Duffy, Livramento, Salah, Son. Yeah, I read that team already. -4 for Havertz, worth it. I wouldn't get him in for a -4. Thank you very much, Dylan. Good night. We'll wait for your next stream. Thank you, Akram. Yeah, like I said, it'll probably be next week, but very much appreciated. Hwang and Chilwell are rising in price tonight, so that will make your moves difficult if not done today. Exactly, this is what I'm on about. And by the time I make those moves after the press conferences, they will probably rise in price again, especially Hwang because he's so cheap. And I'll be priced out by the time that happens. Get Foden and Chilwell for a -4 for Sarr and Shaw Sufal. Yes, I would do that. Raghav. Frustrated with the City game, same here. Went Grealish on the wildcard back in Game Week 7 when he had started every game and Foden wasn't even an option. Yeah, exactly. I think Foden by that point, I think Game Week 7 is when he actually announced himself again when he scored against Liverpool. Which round did you use the wildcard? Unfortunately, Game Week 8, and it's not looking too good at the moment. Hwang or Jimenez? Probably Hwang because of the price. Normally I'd say Jimenez, but Hwang is just offering such great value at the moment, and I'm looking to get him in. I was lucky this game week for captaining Mount. I mean, that's a good decision though in the end. Obviously, maybe on paper it's a bit lucky, yes, but that's, I mean, it's about the decision, not the outcome, but I still think that's a good decision. I know it sounds weird, what I just said there, but I think that's not that lucky. The biggest advice I can give is don't be obsessed with a beautiful team. Play the fixtures, take chances. At the same time, though, if you just focus on fixtures, they don't always translate to points. I think it's kind of a mixture. It's always about balance, not just, fixtures or having a beautiful team on paper. So I think neither is true, to be honest. Are you doing FPL next season? I can see why you're asking that, Manish, because I did so terribly today. Yeah, I'm not doing FPL again, to be honest. Would you get Hwang or Jesus for the coming weeks? Hwang, because of the price. Which of Antonio and Jimenez would you ditch this week or next to downgrade to Fun Son? Probably Jimenez. Foden going to be benched again, potentially Eric. Do I bring Ronaldo for Kane for Game Week 10? I'm guessing you're saying get rid of Ronaldo for Kane. I probably would, if not Jamie Vardy. The bonus points are in, guys. 47 points and 5 players to play. That's really good. And yeah, well done. Yeah, we got bonus points, but I'm probably not going to look at mine. I have Tony, Vardy, Antonio. Best replacements for Antonio. Hwang potentially, which is what I'm looking to do, and then with that money you can upgrade your midfield. Any updates on Rafinha injury? Apparently he said that he's fine on his Instagram. Hwang or Jimenez? Hwang. Is FPL a big game of chess? It's a big game of chance and luck, I think. Not necessarily chess. I can see what you mean. It is a game of patience. It's the long game rather than you might think that your season's over based on what happened today, but there's still plenty of time left. What do you think of getting rid of Antonio? I'm looking to do the same, Asaraf. So, yeah, I can see why. I think he might do well tomorrow, and that will make it more difficult. -4 for Foden, in for Trossard. Good or nah? I would do that, Corey, yeah. Bear in mind, though, Foden might be benched against Palace, and that's just because Pep is so unpredictable sometimes, not because I actually think this is going to happen. I'm thinking of Rudiger to Chilwell, but I'm so sick of Tuchel's lottery. Was on Reece James before, got rotated, then Rudiger and he was injured. Yeah, there's always something going wrong. Yeah, it sounds like game week 9 to a T, to be honest. Alright, okay, so yeah, Ismail. Okay, Ismail. Good night to you as well. I played the fixtures from game week 4. Can easily tell if it is effed up. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. Fixtures aren't everything. I think form is more important, to be honest, or at least as important. I played the wildcard this week or game week 12. I feel cheap players like Chilwell, Hwang, Broca will be too expensive by 12. If you want to make a lot of moves, I probably would do that now, to be honest. Really hoping Vardy, Tony, Antonio, Trent and Salah captain save. What a horrible week. Important not to be knee-jerk after a terrible game week. A team that scores 30 points one week can score 90 the next. Yeah, this week has been absolutely crazy, to be honest, but it is what it is. Will Foden start next game? Honestly, I can't tell you that, and we have to see what happens in midweek. After that, I can give you a more informed opinion, but it is Pep, mate. Right now, I think he will, but he could easily be benched. Force on my team: Ramsdale, Foster, Livramento, Duffy, Diaz, Cancelo, Aspi, Salah, Son, Rafinha, Mbeumo, Luis, Vardy, Antonio, Tony. Good team. I think Duffy's a concern, the fact that he's now not playing. I would like to have Trent in there if possible, but I like your midfield a lot. And obviously if Rafinha's injured you can move him on, but that's a good team. To be honest, Antonio, you could maybe move on to Hwang if you want, and that will give you enough money to upgrade someone else. With my -8 next game week, I'm getting rid of Antonio, Jimenez and Sarr. I have 6.5 million spare this week. That's a lot of money, and yeah, a lot of people are looking to take hits at the moment. I got Jimenez, Kane, Tony. Should I go for Hwang? I'd only get Hwang in for Jimenez. I wouldn't have Jimenez and Hwang. Please help. Should I bring in Son and Jimenez for Alba and Mount? I wouldn't get rid of Alba and Mount now, especially Mount with the next few game weeks. But long-term, Son and Jimenez are a better duo. At the same time, though, I would rather have Hwang than Jimenez right now because of the extra money. Subscribe to the channel and spread the word, mothers. Cheers, mate. 41 points with 4 to go. Very good FPL frenzy. Good team. What is your rank? It's around 220k. I was supposed to check it earlier, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I literally had it here. So bear with me with a second and I'll give you my my actual rank. I have Saka, Grealish, Rafinha, Salah, Kane, Jimenez, Tony, Chilwell, James, Diaz, Livramento, White. Suggest a transfer. I think I would do Jimenez to Hwang potentially, and that will give you money to play with elsewhere. That's what I probably do. The rest is fine. You don't have to get rid of them. Tony or Hwang, I still would rather have Tony. Foden will be the next KDB potentially, although KDB's passing is probably still going to be on another level compared to him. I think Foden's a better dribbler, and he might actually just be a more consistent goal scorer than KDB. Come on, give me my FPL ID. Oh no, don't tell me. Yeah, come on. Even livefpl.net is acting up at the moment. Come on, mate. What are you doing? Alright, 1 second. Getting my amazing rank up. I don't know if Kane will be back in form. Yeah, same here. Obviously, just one good performance against Newcastle. Let's wait and see. How many points are you on so far, and what's your overall? I am on currently 9 points. With Livramento coming in, I have like 18 or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's an awful week. Okay, so my rank is... right now, before substitutions, 227,000. It's the first time I've dropped out of the top 100k for several weeks now. And with Livramento coming on, I'm around 159,489. But yeah, 18 points with Livramento coming on. It's a really bad week for me. Dylan, at what level at the moment can you win FPL? Top 100k? There's not really necessarily a specific figure. But I think if you're in the top 100k, you can win it. Even top 200k, there's not much in it between the different ranks. What to do with Havertz? I'd keep him. If I got him in, I'd keep him still. I think I'm just going to stick on a movie, have a shower and go to bed and forget about today. Yeah, exactly, Dylan. As I said at the beginning of the stream, if I was in charge of the archives, this game week would be deleted, or I would change history and I'd say I got 70 points and that I did amazing. When to use bench boost wisely during a double game week, Uma. During a double game week, because you can essentially wildcard into a double game week team, which is also good for the future. You've got good squad depth going into the future, and for a specific game week where there's a double for a lot of teams, you can essentially build a team with 15 players, all with 2 games, and you could literally get over 100 points easily. Thanks for the stream and answering my questions on other people's. Have a good night. See you next week. Thank you, Ibrahim. Good to see you here. Don't fancy any of Foden or Mount? I do, especially Foden. I think Foden is a better asset than Mount, and he's a better player. But Son is still the one I've been looking at for time, and Son is a better player than Foden, and he's more consistent and all of that, yada yada yada. So I'm still looking to get him in, and maybe in the future, in a few weeks' time, Rafinha can become Foden and Diaz can become a cheaper defender. So yes, I'm still thinking about them, especially Foden. And let's actually end the poll that I put out. So 59% of you have actually said that Foden and Janssen is a better combination than... I actually forgot the other combination, didn't I? Jesus Christ. Than Diaz and Rafinha. Is Hwang still kind of knee-jerky? I don't think so, because he's actually shown it over a couple of weeks now. What I like about him is that he's cheap, and he's also gets the bonus points when he scores, and Jimenez and Hwang combine very well. Jimenez tends to assist him, but I wouldn't take... Well, then again, I am considering taking a hit for him, am I? To fund Son. I wouldn't want to take a hit for Hwang, if I'm being honest, but if you need to facilitate a move like Son or Chilwell and you're going to be priced out, then I would consider it. You can pick on your latest points and get the FPL ID. It's just a number after the word entry in the URL. Yeah, exactly. Son or Kane? Who is better value for money? Definitely Son at the moment. Kane, 2 goals and 1 assist. I hope not. Hopefully he blanks. Hwang or Antonio? I still prefer Antonio, but Hwang might be better value for money. Loving your channel, Dino. Dino. I can't even say my name. I don't know why you subscribed, Dylan. I said Dino. But thank you very much for subscribing. Very much appreciated. Good to see another Dylan here. There's actually a lot of Dylans flying around in FPL. Livramento 2 bonus points, exactly. Got to take that. And I benched him originally. Jesus Christ. Keep an eye on James Maddison. Performed really well versus United and got an assist in Europa. Yeah, that's actually a good shout. No one's really mentioned him, but before that, he went 17, 18 games without a goal or an assist. I'm not going to get him in for my team, but he can be very streaky. So yeah, as I said before, the final result, and YouTube can't count, by the way, because the poll says 59% for Foden and Janssen and 40% for Rafinha and Diaz. That doesn't equal 100%, does it? But yeah, Foden and Janssen is the duo of choice. That handball which Mount converted would have been a Rudiger goal. To be honest, I would have been a bit pissed off if it was a Rudiger goal. 9 points is already bad enough. I did have him, but because of the injury on a wild card, I got rid of him. Best replacement for Havertz in Game Week 12, Heung-min Son if you can afford it, or Foden. I have a double transfer. Should I take out Ronaldo or say Maximan, and should I bring in Foden or Chilwell? Good question. I would... Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably Foden. Long term, I would rather have Foden, I think. Suggest a striker to get right now. I have Vardy, Armstrong and Hwang. Armstrong to Tony Mohammed. That's what I would do. I have a double transfer. Yeah, I answered that. No need to spam the chat. Rafinha's okay, he says on Insta. Yeah, exactly, Emil. Hopefully he is. And it makes things a bit simpler. Who are you going to transfer this week? Nothing confirmed, Manish, but I might get in Son for Saka, Chilwell for Azpilicueta, and Hwang for Antonio for a -8. If not, I might just play it simple, roll the transfer, or just make one. If you were to do 2 for a hit, which of Diaz to Chilwell, Saka, Foden, and Jimenez to Antonio to Tony would you do? Not the defender transfer. I mean, Diaz against Palace at home, I would not get rid of on a hit. So Saka to Foden and Jimenez or Antonio to Tony. Hwang, Tony, Broca, and go big on midfield and defence. Good or bad? It's good on paper at the moment, but I would rather have one big striker in there like Vardy because it just gives you more flexibility in your team. My team: Ramsdale, Foster, Trent, Chilwell, James, Cancelo, Livramento, Foden, Salah, Brownhill, and Mbeumo, Rafinha, Kane, Tony, Jimenez. It's a good team. Yeah, that's a good team, to be honest. There's not much to say about that. Jimenez, you can maybe move on to Hwang, and I'll give you more money in your midfield to upgrade it, potentially to you can get Foden, for example, but that's a good team. Wait, did I say Foden? You already have Foden, but let's say, for example, Son. Chilwell got 0 bonus points. Yeah, good. I don't want him getting any more points at the moment until I get him in, obviously. How much do you think Foden and Mount will rise? I think by next week, Mount will probably rise by 0.2 and Foden by 0.1, but I'm no expert in terms of price rises, and those are very unnatural and not very predictable. Anything can happen there. Dylan, with the effort we put in and popularity of the game, I think the winner should win £1 million. Every player enters, plays £1, and money goes to the winner and charities. That's not a bad idea. That's kind of what a fan team do, isn't it? But yeah, definitely the prizes should be better, shouldn't they? But then again, very difficult to win, isn't it? Son, Foden, Vardy, or Mbeumo, Foden, Kane. Yeah, definitely Son, Foden, and Vardy. Much better. Mount instead of Gray, maybe, but only for the next few game weeks. I would rather have Foden over Mount. Aspie to James. Aspie is still a better player than James in FPL. I wouldn't do that. I captained Havertz and brought him in for a hit. Yeah, a lot of people did that, unfortunately. Toby says, you're a legend, mate. Told me to keep Mount instead of going for Havertz. It's just my opinion, honestly. I could have been wrong. I could have said, don't do it, and then Havertz gets the hat-trick and an assist, Mount blanks, and you're like, Dylan, yeah, I'm going to dislike the video, I'm going to whatever. It can literally go either way. I was just offering my opinion. I haven't really seen enough from Havertz this season, especially from an FPL perspective, to say, yeah, get him in this week. He's going to be amazing. And the fact Chelsea scored 7 and he blanked is just absolutely incredible, to be honest. And as for Mount, I didn't expect him to score a hat-trick and get an assist, to be honest. It's just, I wouldn't have done a sideways move like that. That's just the way I saw it. Do you believe Chilwell is nailed? How about Foden? Chilwell seems nailed at the moment, but we all said the same thing about Alonso back in the day. So he'll play the majority of the games, I think, for the time being. And as for Foden, he should be nailed. By that I mean he'll play 8 out of 10 games. He'll be benched from time to time. Tony for St. Max or Vardy for Ronaldo? I'd say both, but if you had to pick one, I'd do Tony for St. Maximan first. Looks like Rafinha will miss the midweek cup game, but will be okay for Norwich according to Twitter updates. Thank you for that, Adam Bond. And yeah, that's a bit of good news, hopefully. Lukaku to Kane, Benrahma to Smith Rowe, -4. I wouldn't do Benrahma to Smith Rowe, to be honest, unless you need that money, but I probably wouldn't do that for a -4. Is it smart to get rid of Antonio before Everton, who just conceded 5 to Watford? It isn't smart, to be honest, that's Saraf. That's why I'm not really too keen on doing it. Foden nailed. Yeah, like I said before, he'll play the majority of the games, but not every single one. Played wildcard this week. Thoughts? Well, it depends on how you did or which players you have, but well, I'm guessing you actually are wildcarding ahead of Game Week 10, should I say. But yeah, if I had it, I probably would have played it by now. Dylan, if I was you, I'd take the 8-point hit and leave Rafinha and Diaz in. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. The only problem I would have is doing a sideways move, Azpilicueta to Chilwell, which I need to do to fund Son. And also getting rid of Antonio against Everton, who just conceded 5 to Watford. It's crazy. Are we overlooking De Bruyne? Well, he just got benched, and I talked about De Bruyne plenty of times. I think he's a good option, but Foden just offers better value. Will play a similar amount of minutes, I think, in the Premier League, and Foden could actually outscore him. My team: Sanchez, White, Chilwell, Cancelo, Mount, Salazar, Rafinha, Antonio, Alba, and Vardy. Thoughts? I don't like Alba and Mount long term, but I think for the time being they're fine. I'd probably move Aubameyang to Tony, for example, and yeah, your defense is fine. I would rather have Raya or Ramsdale instead of Sanchez, but he's doing all right. And Mount, as I said before, not my favourite long term, but for the time being, definitely don't get rid. Hey Dylan, how's your weekend going? It's going well, Adil. Not the best in terms of FPL, but we all have these weeks. Why is Hwang so good? He's not amazing, or I'm not saying he's a must-have, but I just think for the value he offers at the moment and his price, I think he's actually a good choice at the moment. But we'll see. Why is my team name pending moderation? Says FPL Frenzy. That's a bit strange. I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, FPL, I think they do censor some stuff. I'm afraid that James will be more nailed than Aspie. I don't agree, to be honest. It's just one game that Aspilicueta got dropped in. Who should I swap Rafinha out for? Obviously, wait and see if he's going to be injured first, but I'd say if you can afford him, Foden for sure. He's my favourite, around 7 to 8 million. And Son, if you can afford it, of course. And if not, you're looking at Mbumo probably. I'm 11k in the world, really good rank ABC. Which one would you prioritise, Mbumo or Son and Hwang for -8? Son and Hwang probably, even though Mbumo has better fixtures. You got me thinking, Rudiger plus Greenwood plus Antonio to Chilwell, Son and Hwang from 18. Should I do it? Well, I'm guessing yes, a -8. Yeah, I think that looks good, to be honest. But Rudiger to Chilwell, if you can help it, maybe just avoid that and do Greenwood and Antonio to Son and Hwang. The only thing I'd say is that Antonio could do really well against Everton. This week, Ronaldo would change everyone's perspective about getting rid of him and the value for money, etc. The point is, though, you can't have everyone. So Ronaldo, yes, he can score against Liverpool. He might do really well, but I mean, look at his price. He's 12.5 million. Are you going to captain him? Probably not. So it doesn't make too much sense to have him, to be honest. So yeah. When did you get rid of Antonio? I haven't got rid of him. He's just my transfer plans at the moment because I want to have Son. Do you think Chilwell over James? Yes, because James comes on from the bench more often and gives you those 1-pointers. Do you think Chilwell... Wait, did I say? Yeah. 22 points after bonuses. Wow, 4 of my players got bonuses, but I'm down to 370k. Yeah, it's just one of those weeks, football zen. If Rafinha blanks versus Norwich, I'm getting rid as Leeds look a different side. Yeah, same, to be honest. So if I do take the -8 now, I keep Rafinha. He could actually just... he'll definitely become Foden at some point, I think. Your thoughts on Broca for Southampton? Yeah, he's looking really impressive. Another goal, but he is an injury concern. He's got an ankle injury, according to FPL. I mean, they obviously update it based on the news, so let's wait and see. No problem, Kobe. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thoughts on Jesus? Once again, I keep on saying he's a good option, but I'd rather have Foden to cover City attack, and Vardy, Tony, Hwang, even Jimenez, Lukaku when he's fit, and Ronaldo, Kane. I'd rather have all of those strikers at the moment. Who's the best FPL asset to have, excluding Salah? Good question. At the moment, Chilwell's looking really good. Cancelo as well. I like Cancelo a lot, despite his blank. Honestly, I don't think anyone else is really that important, to be honest. Vardy's obviously doing really well this season. Let me know what you guys think. I probably would say Antonio was the answer beforehand in the first few game weeks, but right now, I'd probably say Heung-min Son, and that's why I'm so fixated on getting the guy. Hwang is this season's OG Ings back when he was sub 6 million. Yeah, that's actually a good comparison. I don't know if he's going to keep it up, but I think he is looking really good. I have Foden minus 15 points with bonus due, says Adil. That's good. Minus 15 points. I'm guessing you have 15 points, yeah. What do you think defensive-wise for next week's fixtures? I think a double City defence is the way to go. One Chelsea defender, like Chilwell, if he starts. So, yeah. Antonio plays Villa, not Everton. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I don't know why I said that, to be honest. I think he plays them soon, though. Let me actually check the fixtures. Wait, no, they just played them. They won 1-0. Yeah, what am I saying? Aston Villa's not the best fixture, to be honest. Yeah, Aston Villa. Thanks for the correction, Harry. Yeah, they just played them. I actually went to a sports bar to watch that game. Well, I'll be honest, I wasn't too really engaged with the game, but yeah. I'm not too sure. Jet says, why are you ignoring me? I'm not. I literally haven't seen your comment, mate, and it's very difficult, trust me, to read every single comment. I do try my best. Will Rafinha be available next week? I think so, but I can't give you a guaranteed answer. No one can. Let's wait and see. Will Chelsea keep a clean sheet versus Newcastle? Probably, but it's not guaranteed, I think. I think Mount is better for the next 3 than Foden. Yes, I agree, but long-term Foden's better. Definitely. Chu already has 140% on the price rise sites. He'll probably double increase. Exactly, I agree. That's why I'm really tempted to get him in now. Trent is the most essential FPL player, even more than Salah at his price. I disagree, because you can cover him with Chilwell, Cancelo, etc. But he is a really good option. I have Bernardo is it worth getting rid of him for Foden? I'd rather have Foden. So if you have a transfer to spare, I'd do it. I'm waiting for Bamford to come back. He'll be straight in my team. I disagree because Leeds aren't looking too good, and I just don't really see Bamford reaching the same heights as last season. Thank you, Kobe, for moderating the chat. From 3.3 million in Game Week 1 to 300k currently in my first season of FPL, what do you think? That's a really good, I'd say, rise up the ranks, and it can keep on going, to be honest. And it's very early days, but it's looking good at the moment. Might just roll the transfer this week. Tempted to do Tierney to Cancelo or Jimenez to Hwang, but the 2 free transfer Game Week 11 could be huge. Yeah, they could be, but it could be huge in Game Week 10 now or Game Week 12, so it's not really ideal. Thank you for patiently answering all questions. Keep it up. Just subscribe to you. Thank you, Prava. Really appreciate it. Who should I take Alonso out? I missed transfers this game week. I think doing a transfer from him to Chilwell is risky because, once again, it could be Alonso starting next week. It depends on what happens in midweek during the Carabao Cup. But Chilwell, Cancelo could be the way to go, or Trent if you don't have them already. And maybe if you want to invest more in your midfield and attack, you can downgrade to a Brentford defender like Pinnock or Janssen. I have Alonso Marcel, looking to bench Alonso for Livramento until he starts playing and upgrading Marcel for Cancelo or James Thoughts. I agree. I wouldn't get James, I'd get Cancelo. Double up on Chelsea or City defenders. Long term for me, Mohammed, it is City, but Chelsea are just, they keep getting the clean sheets. I see Rafinha went off 53 minutes. Was it injury, fatigue, or tactics? It was an injury. Saiss pretty much just clattered him and he picked up a knock. I got Chilwell in for Aspie. I'm looking to do something similar, Jet. It's not ideal though. I don't like doing these kind of sideways moves. Force on Callum Wilson. I think he could be one of the best around his price. The things I don't like: Newcastle, very unreliable. Also Wilson, he is injury prone, so that puts me off. I was watching the Wolves-Leeds game. Looks like a nasty injury for Rafinha. I doubt he'll be fit for next week. Fair enough. Yeah, I need to actually see that game in the highlights. If I do see the challenge and all of that, then I probably would agree with you. Son or Vardy? I probably would say Son because of the fixtures, Yusuf. Is Reece James nailed better than Chilwell and Alonso? No. Not for me, because it could be Hudson-Odoi playing as right wing back when Lukaku and Werner come back, and also Azpilicueta. He's not going to be benched forever. I was waiting for DCL to come straight for Antonio. Yeah, potentially. But then again, I don't think DCL's a must-have, and neither is any Everton asset. Grealish and Broja, or Allen and Antonio. Grealish and Broja, but I wouldn't get Grealish. I'd get Foden if possible. Yeah, Football Zen, I answered your question and I said that I'd go for Cancelo. Ali says, sorry if you answered my question. Do you think Reece James will start against Newcastle? I'm not sure, to be honest. I think he will. And Aspie will come as one of the centre-backs, but I don't know, to be honest. It's a difficult one. Why do the best players of each team always get injured before Norwich? Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, it's an absolute nightmare, isn't it? Do you remember most of the viewers that tuning in often says, wait, yeah, I'd say so. Most of them, you kind of, when you read out the names and stuff, you kind of familiarise yourself with them. So yeah, I'd say so. The bonuses were added 30 minutes ago. Says Football Zen. Yeah, I haven't seen who's asked that. Chilwell for Aspie or Diaz in order to get Foden for a -4. Yeah, but this is the thing. I'm looking to do something similar. Maybe Aspie, I'd say. Oh, is Rafinha going to be out? What was the challenge on him like? I haven't seen it myself, but I think Saiss just absolutely clattered him and it looked like a bad one. I need to see it myself. Is it a good idea to go for Soden? For Son from Foden, already have Kane. Not yet. You can just keep Foden for the next few weeks, then get Son. Sorry for another question, but Foster or Sanchez for next week? I would probably go for Foster again. Like I would have this week. Antonio to Tony and Semedo to Diaz for a -4. Yes, I'd do that, ABC, and obviously you've got a really good rank, so it's up to you what you do. You might experience a little tumble in the ranks, but I probably would. How long is Rafinha gone for? No one knows, mate. No one knows. He could be out for 1 week. I suspect he'll be back by game week 11, but we want him back for game week 10. Do I get rid of Kyle Walker to Janssen to make funds for Son, or keep Walker? I would probably make the funds, especially if you already have a City defender. Rafinha just posted on Instagram that he's fine. Yeah, but once again, you never know. Things can develop. But I am optimistic about Rafinha, just to make my opinions clear on that. I struggle to figure out who to start out of Rudiger and Christensen. Is there a way to figure it out? I just start both of them. And yeah, one of them might be benched, and then you have the cover there. Best back four right now in FPL. Trent, Chilwell, Cancelo, and Diaz for me. If not, instead of Diaz, Rudiger. Will Foden start next match? I think so, but I could be wrong. And let's see what happens. How much is Foden? He is 8.1 million, I believe. Best team to triple up. I think long term, I think City. So Foden, Diaz and Cancelo. If not, still Chelsea for the next few. And yeah, probably those two. I wouldn't look at anyone else. Mount, good pick for the next few games, yes, but not beyond that, I think, when Lukaku and Werner are back. Bench Sanchez for Foster was big. Big L this week. Yeah, but you can't have... I actually had a similar thing a few weeks ago. Actually was getting the decisions right, but if I had both of them, I would have played Foster this week, so I would have taken the L. Has Salah lost his speed? An appeal as FPL asset? Best cheap midfielder replacements? I think so, based on what we've seen so far. And Mbumo, I still like Gray and Townsend potentially. And also Smith Rowe is looking alright. I wouldn't go for him myself, but he's looking decent. Rafinha's still good if he's fit. And other than that, Gallagher's been disappointing, so I probably wouldn't recommend him. Yeah, those are the sorts of options. I'm not really too impressed by them. I would rather have Son, Foden, Salah in my midfield, to be honest. Duffy to Trent, Antonio to Hwang. Yes, Tiger, I'd do that. Force and Ben Foster versus Ramsdale. I would probably start... Actually, I don't know. I've got both of them. I'm starting Ramsdale at the moment. I am tempted by Foster, but then again, I think Southampton will score. Antonio to Tony. Yeah, I'd do that, ABC. Just subscribe. Thank you for answering my question. Thank you, Yusuf. Really appreciate it. Okay, fair enough, Footballers. No worries. What's your plan with Townsend? I might get rid of him for Mbumo, but the problem is, I also want to get Son, and if I want to have him and Chilwell, for example, I'm going to be priced out if I don't make these moves soon. So I've got some headaches to make. I've got some headaches based on the decisions I have to make. Buy Chilwell or Cancelo? Still Cancelo for me. Should I bring in Mount and Tony for Lukaku and Gilmore for a -4? I'd say yes, but I would rather have Foden over Mount long term. Brighton versus Brentford defence. I think Brighton have a better defence than Brentford, but up until Game Week 19, Brentford will probably keep more clean sheets. So right now, I'd say go for a Brighton defender. Force on Van Dijk, not an FPL asset for me, just Trent. Armstrong bench 2 in a row since international break. He's got to go, exactly. Who would you recommend to get in? Tony or Hwang? Tony, simple as for me. I could be wrong, but I think Tony. Is Hwang a good replacement for Armstrong? Yes, he definitely is. I'm looking to get him in, actually. Best 2 goalkeepers to have? Good question. Definitely Raya for me. Raya. And I'd still say Ramsdale. And if you have both of them, I think you're set for the long term, not just for the next 3 or 5. Thoughts on Ben Foster? I already said this, Faith. And actually, no, my bad. Okay, no, that's my fault. You are saying Sarr or Ben Foster. That's a tough one. I don't think either of them will keep a clean sheet, but I actually would be tempted to start Sarr. Yeah, Rafinha tweeted that he's fine. Hopefully he is. So excited for United versus Liverpool tomorrow as a United fan. Yep, I should be a good game. It wasn't too bad. Sice hit his leg on Rafinha's shin. Yeah, I've got kind of mixed messages here. Obviously, you're saying it's not too bad. Rafinha said he's fine. And then some people are saying he could be out for next week and it looked really bad. Do you think Cancelo and Diaz is too much money in defence? I think I should downgrade Diaz and use the funds in attack. I'm thinking of the same thing. Diaz could become Janssen, for example. And instead of Rafinha, I could get Phil Foden. So I think it might be too much money potentially, especially if you already have Trent and Chilwell, for example. Got 21 points, decent, I guess, for this week only. I agree, to be honest. I've got 18. Is what it is. Thank you very much to Adam. Just subbed. Keep up the good content. Thank you very much, mate. Predictions versus United versus Liverpool. It's the same as before. I think 2-1 to Liverpool. Are you going to be watching the game? Yeah, I probably will, to be honest. Having a stinker, either 50-50 game Foden or Son, and Wilson or Saint-Maximin chose wrong on both. Yeah, I mean, out of those two, I prefer Wilson over Saint-Maximin, but Wilson's more injury prone, so I can see why he went with the Frenchman. And as for Foden or Son, I still think Son is better than Foden, but Foden's looking really good at the moment. Tony or Hwang for Armstrong? I still go for Tony, Adil, but Hwang isn't bad, to be honest. Could Mendy actually be value? I think so. He could. I talked about this even in my last few videos and streams, but I still probably wouldn't go there. Should I buy Foden or Mount? Foden for me, definitely. Still the same thing as before. Best forward if I want to replace either Jesus from City and or Antonio from West Ham. Vardy, maybe for Jesus, and Hwang for Antonio. But if you don't have Tony, go for Tony. So basically Vardy and Tony for those two, if possible, which I think it should be. Praying for a Salah blank tomorrow. I'm praying for a hat-trick, mate. That would be amazing. Reece James for Cancelo? No, Cancelo's way better. Don't go for it, mate. In my opinion. Obviously, do what you think, but not for me. I'm absolutely regretting going Grealish over Foden. Yeah, I would be too, to be fair. Foden will get more points per start, but I think Grealish might start more games, so I can see why you went for it. But yeah, Foden is a better asset, in my opinion. And yeah, by the way, for anyone who is wondering, I'm around 159k at the moment with Livramento coming in. It's not looking good at the moment. It's a really poor rank, and yeah, one of the worst weeks I've experienced, to be honest. And thank you, obviously, once again, for everyone who has tuned in. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe if you are new around here. Obviously, very much appreciated. Same with the new channel member today, Kenny, and also all the super chats sent in over the last few days. Very much appreciated. Just got rid of the chat. Solskjaer, a good manager. He doesn't know the difference between winning and losing. Maybe, to be honest. And he's always happy, isn't he? Salah hat-trick of goals and Trent hat-trick of assists. If that happens, Melvin, I mean, to be fair, I'll still go down in rank probably because so many people have them, but I'll take that. Have Lukaku, should I keep him or sell him? I'd sell him, because what's the point of holding him for 2 to 3 weeks? And he might not even do well when he comes back. I'd sell him, honestly. Sell. Janssen or Pinnock? Janssen for me, but it's 50-50. There's not a right or wrong answer. But I think Janssen is just a bit more appealing because of his underlying stats, the source of points. I think he's a bit more consistent. KDB benching hurts so bad, never safe with Pep. Exactly, that's why I just go for Foden, who's cheaper. Wait till Friday for Alonso, out or now? It depends who you're bringing in. If you're not going to be priced out with the move, then just wait. As a Man United fan, I think we'll be smashed by Liverpool tomorrow. Yeah, knowing Oli will play 5 at the back with McFred in midfield, he probably will, or 4 at the back, but a very defensive, lineup. Diaz has blanked in the last 3 game weeks. Is Chilwell a good replacement? He is a good replacement, but I think Diaz will do well if he starts against Palace. Swap Ronaldo for Jesus this week. Not a bad shout, to be honest, but I'd rather have, just offering my opinion, I'd rather have Vardy, but Jesus could be the one to go for. Got Martinez, but benched him for Ederson. Stupid decision, I think. Not necessarily, because Arsenal actually, could have scored more than 3 goals, and Villa were lucky that it was only 3-1. So if it wasn't for the penalty, you would have made the right decision. And also Ederson being an idiot, so it is what it is. Have about 5.5 in the bank. Who should I get to strengthen my midfield? It depends who you have in your midfield, but I'd get Son. If you don't have him already, get Son, and you're ready for Game Week 12. What does your channel name mean? It's just my name, Dylan, and RCM is just some initials, really. It's not right central midfielder, by the way. It's not that. After Norwich game, I'll probably go Rafinha to Foden, Diaz to Janssen, possibly. Yeah, exactly. I'm exactly the same. I nearly said I'm exactly the same mate. I'm in the exact same position, mate. I might do the exact same thing. Who would I put in for Lukaku? Vardy for me. If you don't have him already, Vardy. Having good players in my team, but being dumb on captaincy option for several weeks, and this week even struggled on the bench. Guide needed. Yeah, well, you're going to get things right, you're going to get things wrong, but ultimately, with the captaincy, if you think you're just getting it wrong from time to time, or very often, then just keep it simple. And I think Salah's just a really good. If you're not sure, just captain Salah, I think. I've got 22 points with Salah captain and 3 other players to play. Not the best. Yeah, I'm in a similar position. I think I've got 5 players left, Salah captain, and 18 points, so it's really bad. My rank gone from 350k to 190k with 38 points with 5 to play. Thanks for your content. Thanks for your content. Thank you very much, Singh. Obviously, once again, it's all your decision making. I just offer my opinions. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but ultimately it's up to you what you do. Thank you very much for your kind words, though. Very much appreciated. Alonso out, and to bring Diaz or Chilwell in. Probably Chilwell, especially if you don't have a Chelsea defender already. Son or Foden? Still Son for me, but Foden's really good. Thanks for the advice, bro. Keep it up. Good night. Thank you very much, Nabil. Really appreciate it. Do you think I should transfer in Callum Wilson for Antonio if he blanks this week? I'd still rather go for Tony or Hwang, if I'm being honest, but he's not bad. Is Kane being overlooked? I don't think so. I mean, a lot of people were talking about him, but just remember, he scored and assisted against Newcastle. Not exactly, a great measuring stick, because a lot of people can do that. I'm going to be wrapping up now, and I'm going to be eating. It is Saturday night. I haven't eaten yet. Dylan, you're one of the best FPL YouTubers. I've subscribed and thank for your answering my questions, and everyone else. Thank you very much, Matt and Luca, and obviously to everyone else who has actually subscribed today. Let me check now the subscriber count, because I haven't checked it today. Wow, we've got, I think, 60 subscribers in this stream alone. So obviously, very much appreciated. And if you haven't already, remember to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you so much to everyone. And I didn't even actually do the transition, but yeah, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. I did actually hide my rank in the end because I didn't update it because I was that embarrassed. Currently on 9 points technically, but with Livramento coming on, I'm on 18 and around 150k. So very poor. This is one of the worst weeks, especially this season, but it is what it is. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Dylan_RCM. It's the same as my YouTube, and you can contact me there. And obviously, all the very best of luck with the rest of Game Week 9. And looking ahead to Game Week 10, I'll be making more videos and live streams, so be sure to stay tuned for that. I'll now read out any last questions before wrapping up. I've got 33 points for Tony and Salah captain to play. Good week? I think so. Well, I wouldn't say it's a great week, or I think it's all right. I wish I had 33 points. And you technically have 3 players. You've got Salah captain and Tony. Huang for Antonio. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that. John Cena, but just bear in mind that Antonio can still do well. And let's see how he does tomorrow. What do you think about Leeds and Norwich? I think Leeds should score 2 or 3, but Leeds are so poor this season, and I'm not really that confident about them. Who would I put in for Lukaku? Yeah, I answered this already, Miss Storms. I'd get Vardy in. I like the video and subscribe. Thank you very much, Alexa. Very much appreciated. Is Chilwell a good replacement for Diaz, considering he blanked the last 3 weeks? Yeah, Mohammed, I did answer this already as well. And yes, I think he is a good replacement. But bear in mind, Diaz can keep a clean sheet. Adam says, drop a like, guys. Thank you very much for the shout out. Very much appreciated. 25 points for Salah captain, Vardy, Son and Antonio to play. I'll be happy with 50 plus. Guy Aspie didn't play. Same here. I think if Aspie played, got a goal and assist and a clean sheet, I would have been much happier. Is it worth to move Sanchez to Raya for a -4 for long term? No, because Sanchez still has some good fixtures coming up. Brentford aren't that much better than Brighton defence, or if anything, Brighton have a better defence. It's just Brentford have the better fixtures. I wouldn't take a hit for a goalkeeper. My rank went from 100k to a 20k with Kane captain to play. That could be really good. Kane captain could actually shoot you into the top 10k. Found this tonight by chance. Love the stream. Keep the good effort. Thank you very much, Nebras. Very much appreciated, and good luck to you as well. Thank you, Harry. And yeah, here's to a good Sunday. Exactly. It can't be worse than Saturday, actually. Let's not jinx it. Best long-term keeper, around 4.5 million. Definitely Raya for me, if not Ramsdale. Looking at the fixtures from now, Raya is looking really good. Our captain, Rafinha versus Norwich, if fit. What about you? I'm still going to be captaining Salah. I think I'll be talking about this in my future videos and live streams, but I think I'm just going to go simple and captain the most informed player in the world. Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in today. Good luck, like I said, with the rest of Game Week 9 and the rest of the season, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully, Sunday isn't too bad.